Well, hello everyone. Hi, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all the ships at sea. It is April 1st, 2026, year of our Lord, and I'm here, Dennis, with Fluno. Hi, Fluno.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Dennis.
Yeah, we're
Happy April
here.
Fools.
Yeah, April Fools. So I guess I'm not going to do any jokes. Yeah,
No,
actually, I'm going to go over to Stellantis sales numbers. That's enough of a joke, I guess. Um, yeah, so this has been a fascinating week. I was going to go to a car show and got food poisoning, and yeah, that kind of sucked. And
oh,
then I cleaned the car up. I even used liquid glass on the hood of the car. I mean, the car looks spectacular, and I had to use liquid glass on it, and it looks great, and I didn't go anywhere. So it was very depressing.
you
So
probably had to clean yourself up too.
yes, I cleaned myself up also. So yeah, so I didn't
I
go
hope
to
you're
the.
feeling better.
No,
Hope you're
I feel
feeling
I
better.
was better by Sunday afternoon, but I had to stay
Of
home on
course.
Sunday. So
Yeah.
kind of sucks. And then and I spent all day on Saturday adjusting the alignment on that car because it just was never right. So I said,
Mm,
screw it. So I adjusted it, and it's very straight now. It tracks beautifully. It's just goddamn.
excellent.
Yeah. So so it's just been one of these weeks. I did a video on Rust that was put out yesterday, and I'm doing a lot of research for stuff. And
Great
yeah,
video on door handles. I meant to tell you that.
yes,
Excellent video on the
yes,
door handles.
yes. I'm actually getting some interesting comments, especially about how all those cars that like the Marina and the Austin, like they just never, and because we didn't see many of them because they didn't sell very well. And
Right.
the English market did not. The English really have never cracked the American market.
Mhm.
No, they really haven't. I mean, a little here and there's, but they really never cracked it, which is kind of strange because they always built some quirky, cool little cars, and it just
Mhm.
never happened.
Yeah.
So, the one thing I want to show is I'm so, as I say, I guess the word would be blessed. Everybody uses that, right? That where I live, I can see stuff launch from Cape Canaveral because, well, it's Florida and boy, is it flat. So it's like 100 miles away from me. So this is the Artemis 2 rocket launching. This is about a minute and a half after launch. That I wish it was nighttime because this would have been freaking ridiculously bright.
Yeah.
That those people are on top of a giant bomb. I mean, honest to God, that thing is just crazy. Oh, Gozamas, how you doing? Yeah, I know, isn't it? It's like Boss Man. It is
Is
just
it unmanned or are there
no.
actually astronauts in
There's
there?
4 astronauts on there. They're gonna go around the dark side of the moon. Hopefully, they'll play Pink Floyd when they're doing that.
Yeah.
Uh, maybe they'll see the alien base on the other side of the
The,
moon.
yeah. The former German artist base that everyone talks about that was built.
Hey, Autobot. Thanks. Thanks. I thought it'd be kind of neat. The going over. You talking about the Rust thing? Yeah, because Rust is nasty, and
Mm.
I have Chrysler products. So Chrysler products are they're uh they're known to rust. Chrysler didn't do the biggest and brightest for their rust prevention. They were kind of lax. Let's just use the word lax. Hey, Jamie Cotton's here. All right, Jamie Cotton's here. Hey, Jamie Cotton, how you doing? Yeah, so this is the Artemis 2 going up 100. Oh, and at this point, it's like 150 miles away from you. That just shows you how big a rocket that thing is. That's its only thing that matches that is the heavy, the SpaceX heavies. Those things are crazy, and they do night launches with those. And it
Mhm.
literally see all between those palm trees, it lights all that up. It's all lit up. It is insane. So, and then you watch the boosters. Their boosters land like you watch them go back down. Oh, we got a question about the Seagar. Got the Seagar question.
Okay.
What do you got there now?
Oh, just my regular boring evening. Like I said, I was going to start changing things up, but it's a JC Newman smoke. It's called a
Perfect.
Quorum. Inexpensive, but it's the same tobacco used in Fuente and other JC Newman blends. And it's a great bundle, daily smoke. If it goes out, whatever, no big deal. But I am going to eventually start doing like maybe a cigar of the show. Maybe because
Cool.
I'm going to see you. No, in a couple of days, maybe I'll pick a few up just to have a
That's right. Maybe they'll
selection.
have some specials. Hey, Sue Ann.
Special.
Look at that, man. See, I got my Ace of Spades stuff back there. See it? See it? It's all back there.
Yes.
All the Ace of Spades. Got all my Ace of Spades back there. Ace of Shades. I'm sorry, Ace of Shades. I'm having one of these moments where I'm having like I'm not doing good.
It's been one of those weeks. I believe I'm focused, kind of, sort of.
I almost think I'm focused, and my computer is. I don't understand it. Chrome is an absolute piece of crap, and I don't understand Chrome.
Now it's just me. I have no idea if I'm just here by myself or not.
Yeah. Well,
that was like Fluno's solo performance.
Oh wait, Sue M, I want to get you to Hemi color. Okay. Yeah, send me an email because I've been talking to my painter buddy who has thoughts, and I'm like, I want to just get my trailer painted. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing under it. I'm gonna be doing like a rust proofing, just coat underneath, and then do the ramps in Rhino, and then I'm going to do a and then I want to do the body in like Hemi orange, which is kind of an orange red orange kind of color with some sparkle. Cool. Thank you.
Nice.
Thanks so much. Yeah, so you have my email. Yeah, do it with some sparkles. I need sparkles.
Fantastic.
Gotta have sparkles. So yeah, that's my next project after I get through my my April. Wait, look at this. What about Al? Got a nail in his tire this morning. Had to drive to the tire shop, 14 psi in the tire. I mean, see, that's why my buddy, and this is why when I tow, but all the time I now carry it. You buy SUV or tractor trailer if you can find it. Fix a flat, and you put that sucker in there, you'll get somewhere. And you know what? If that guy bitches about there's stuff in there, and tell him, hey, dude, did you want to go pick me up? And you could have picked me up and brought the tire too, with me. But otherwise, I drive here because you buy the fix a flat, keep it in your car, and it'll get you that, or you buy the slime kit. Either way, but the fix a
trailers, it's a special fix a flat for trailers.
Yeah, tractor trailers, it's huge. I have actually for my trailer, I have 2 SUV ones, and so because I don't want to ever change a tire on the trailer while I'm while I'm actually towing, because absolutely no. I want to, especially on the side of the road. No, I want to get someplace else, then change the tire, because the last thing I want to do is be bring
a statistic.
Yeah, exactly. Try to change it on the side of like I-75. Yeah, no. Absolutely not. No way. I'm scared. I'm scared. No, thankfully I don't drive on I-4. I actually literally when I went to Orlando, I avoided I-4 because I-4 is it's hell. It's one of the worst roads. It's actually one of the most dangerous roads in North America. Literally, it is one of the most dangerous roads in North America. And there's a place called Thornton-Sassa, and right outside Thornton-Sassa is actually the most dangerous stretch of highway in the United States. Yeah, so that's some great stuff there. So you brought up that it was April Fool's. So I went and I found this is I lost my that's right, because I kicked myself out. I now have to redo everything because science. All right, so these are the best April Fool's jokes for car companies this year. Now, car companies are not known for being very good at this type of stuff because, well, they're car companies. But let's see what we got here. The Hyundai Casper. So it's an electric stretch Hyundai. Zero emission stretch car. So it can go hundreds of feet. So there's that, and then you had the Skoda Lunik. So we can, in a celebration of going to the moon or around it. See, Skoda made a car to go on the moon. Leap motor, a vehicle that leaps. They made it so it jumps over speed bumps. How about the Skoda Hound Hose? See, what this does is that it's a very, very dog-friendly brand. So what it does, it has a hose in the door so you can wash your dog.
Oh.
And then the Volkswagen Canary Assist. See, like the canary in the coal mine? Get the joke?
Oh, God.
Get the joke? Get the joke?
Yes.
Yeah, I get the joke. So it basically will warn you when somebody so you don't have chimes, it just chirps. So it chirps, it lets you know that there's someone there. How about the Fiat? Now fix it again, Tony. Professional no-show workwear. See, they didn't bring any car stuff. They actually made sure that the full moon wasn't going to be out. See, Fiat. See, the Fiat brand keeps it up. So it's for plumbers everywhere. Imagine that. Oh my God, it's Johnny Dangles. Hey, Dangles. The Farazon nostalgia mode. Numerous professional drivers make the switch to electric vans, but if you feel nostalgic, distinctive clatter and pungent aroma of burning oil, Farazon is keeping to help you big trip down memory lane. So you put it on nostalgia mode, and it'll be like one of those Volkswagen buses. Nice. I guess the rattling and freezing is also going to be in there.
Yes.
The Suzuki pothole protector. Actually, they should give this, and there are some people that there's a certain sex that could probably use this. They seem to hit potholes all the time.
And curbs.
And curbs. FOMODA, fear of missing out. See, it's the FOMODA. See? Fear of missing out. So that's a great model. And the Skywell cognitive energy transfer. So basically what this does is that it goes and it basically brings inner zen because it goes into your head and gives you positive thoughts.
Oh, we need all those we can get.
Absolutely. Of course, not to be outdone, Ford came out with the 2027 Ford F-150 Thunder and Lightning. The Thunder and Lightning. Yes, the Thunder and Lightning. They're going to do a truck that has an air rev with incredible performance and range. So it's going to have a supercharged 5.2 liter in the bed, and then a 130 kilowatt extended range battery, all for 1,500 horsepower and 2,000 miles of range when the battery's fully charged. And with optional extended range gas tanks to pick up will offer 1,000 miles of range on a single charge and 1,000 on a tank of gas. You can drive cross country, one stop.
Yeah,
and 20,000 payload. See, look at that. There you go. There's innovation for you. This is actually probably one of the best ones that came out this year. It's pretty funny. Stellantis has basically showed their lineup. And that was their April Fools. They went, hey, we're gonna have a sedan at Chrysler. April Fools. So we're going to. I kind of flashed it there. We actually have some first brand news. Stuff is happening. It's interesting and kind of curious. Because there was no indication of any of this stuff happening. And I'm not even sure how they're going to do what they want to do. But this is what's being done. So what has happened is that Premium Guard is basically buying most of First Brands. And do you know how much they're buying? Most of First Brands. I'm talking Autolite, Fram, Trico wipers. How much do you think that is?
How much have they lost altogether? Like 1 point something billion?
It's in the billions. It's like 10, $15 billion that everybody's on the hook for.
I'm going to go fire sale 150 million.
The purchase price is $25 million.
Oh, that's terrible. I thought I was way too low.
No, This is how bad it is. For $25 million, they have bought Fram, Lubifiner, Petroclear, Autolite, Champ, and Champion Laboratory Filtration and Components, Trico, Anco, Exact Fit, Strong Arm, Mighty Lift, and AVM Lift Support Products. Raisbestos and all the other brake things are not in this, which is terrifying. So they're still out there, but Autolite and Fram combined are worth more than $25 million.
Yeah.
I mean, honest, just on name recognition. This is one of the worst things I've ever seen. So basically, you're right, pennies. They're going to get 1.25%. 1.25% additionally of net sales, capped at 8 million. So so it's 25 million up front, and then probably 8 million a quarter, which is still nothing. I mean, honestly, for those name brands, you're right. 150 million is cheap. They literally stole this. They literally stole this stuff, and this is what happens when you have a fire sale, because the pressure, the bankruptcy judge is obviously putting pressure on them. They have to budge, because they have to have these companies working, because they're getting pressure from all the car companies. And now, there are people in Washington that are noticing this, and there's a lot of pressure now to make things happen. And so I just found this, and I didn't have much time to look into PGI. So PGI has built a global supply chain, broad distribution network capable of product management, engineering, and category management. The company's newly acquired assets complement existing strengths in filtration, wiper blades, and related maintenance products such as drain plugs, while supporting expansion in addition to categories such as ignition and spark plugs. So they're going to have a broader portfolio, will enhance its management approach. I mean, they saying the right things here, that they actually will be able to reorganize the brands and maybe make them better. Hopefully they'll reshore Autolite, because Autolite was being made in China. And I mean, they're, yes, I feel much better. Much better. Thank you. I bought a Fram filter once. Yes, that's what happens. People buy them once and realize that they made a mistake. Even though I heard the premium ones aren't that bad, still won't use it. So this is happening now, and I don't know how long it's going to take them to get them actually up and running, because this is a lot. I mean, basically these companies have been shut down now for 6 months, 5 months. Yeah. I mean, they haven't been operating, or operating on skeleton crews. So I don't know how long it's going to take them, but I was saying from early on, the wiper thing is a big deal, because there aren't many wiper manufacturers out there. There really aren't. And honest to God, those every OEM needs wiper blades, and you can't sell a car without wiper blades. And Ford sells 1.5 million vehicles a year. General Motors sells about that. Stellantis sells their 700,000. But even like Toyota, they build stuff in America, so they would get supplies here. So they would probably, they sell almost 1 million cars and trucks. I mean, there's a lot of wiper blades out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in the 90s, Fram wasn't bad, and now I wouldn't put it on a lawnmower. I mean, it really, it's not to my. It's just they're not made very well. You look at it and go, you look at the drain back, it's still like rubber. On the more premium ones, it's silicone, and you can see it's really, you push on it and it doesn't move. I mean, it's really stiff, and that's what you want. That drain back can't be loose, because you don't want that oil to just right back out, because that can happen. So I mean, especially on BMW, my BMW was the older one. It's the last one with a spin-on filter. It's sideways, so I mean, it all could drain out because it's sitting sideways. The Charger actually is on a little angle, so actually the drain back doesn't mean as much in that car, because it's like this. So it's, but on R and B and RB blocks, like 440s, 383s, 400s, it's sideways. Hemi same way. So that drain back means a lot, because, and Fords are that way too. So you don't want it to drain, because it'll drain right out if the drain back valve doesn't work right. So this is big news, actually. It's just not a lot of it. That's why I didn't do a whole video on it, because it's not a lot. It's just that it looks like they've, that the whoever this judge is really laying down the law with these companies, with the lenders, because that's who the real problem is, the lenders. Oh dear Lord, that can't be right. I'll take it to a second. But he made them make a deal where they got a little cash now and then a very small taste of sales. So we'll see how this goes forward. I'm a little more optimistic now, seeing that this judge is not taking crap and he's kind of pushing things forward. But we're still a long way from this being done. We still need Rebestis back. I mean, and we need Cardone to come back. Those two big companies, nothing's happened with them, and so they're both dormant right now, because I think it's the end of this month. Rebestis is going to close down, and Cardone, I think, wound down. I think they already wound down, so they're done too. So those two I want to see. What do we have here? I love vintage 76 Viper Green, because he always brings he brings it when he always brings it in the chat. Stellantis come out with a 4-cylinder 2-liter Huracan engine to replace the 3.6. Jesus. Well, why? I mean, why? 4-cylinder turbo engines just are not awesome. They really, especially what they're going to be putting it in, because they're going to put it in like that minivan, and which is a big vehicle. It's a heavy vehicle.
Yeah.
And the 3.6, at least it's big enough to move that sucker around. Granted, the 3.6 has its problems because they never fixed it, head gasket. But, honestly, that engine, just with a small redesign, would have been a good engine. But to replace it with a 4-cylinder and a 2-liter, I mean, because, no offense over there, Fluno, but Hyundai and their 2-liter 4-cylinder is pretty good, pretty bad. The Theta, that's a pretty bad engine.
Look, all I gotta say is that I and my Elantra had naturally aspirated, no turbo.
That's the thing. That's the difference.
Yeah, well, no, I'm just saying is that the Elantra, 93,000 miles. Of course, I maintain my vehicles, as you know.
Right.
Unlike some, but not one. Hell, the door handles went quicker than which they always seem to do. But not one thing wrong at all. And that's one reason, actually, with the Kona, I went with the SEL versus the price too, but the Limited was a 1.6 turbo. Don't want that. 2-liter naturally aspirated. I had no issues whatsoever. So, and it has that nice warranty. So if something does happen, and I completely keep it maintained, as you know, to the book. And
yes,
that's good. But no, I hear you on that. But you start turbocharging, and all these engines are overtaxed. That's the problem.
Yes.
And they don't care, okay? Because the fourth owner in, definitely, exactly. I'm not being funny. No, they're by that point, they're probably not going to maintain. I'm not being nasty, okay?
No, that's God knows how many
miles. And I mean, heck, people with brand new cars don't actually maintain them well. And by the time it trickles down, there's going to be a problem.
So
that's ridiculous.
I can tell
that's
you.
Ridiculous.
All right. So the BMW 330, right? Or whatever is a 30. That is a 4-cylinder.
Turbo, right?
Yeah. Wait. I'm trying to figure out how big it is.
2.5, right?
No, it's the same. All right. So that's the B48, B56. That one only does 260 horsepower. Okay. Right. That motor can't make 100,000 miles. It literally can't make 100,000 miles. That is a very, very bad engine. It's probably one of the worst engines BMW ever built. And yeah, it's bad. And that I can just imagine Stellantis building something wound up that hard. I can't see that lasting.
That's insane.
That is just way too much. That is way too much from that small of an engine. And
Yeah.
and the way the Huracan works, it does like a pre. I was reading how it works. It's very weird because it does like a pre-fire on it. So that's the whole Huracan part of it. So it's very it's a very complicated engine. It's not just a regular little four-cylinder. It's a very complicated head on this, and that's why I'm very leery of anything with Huracan because it's not simple. Like the Bronco's 2.3 liter is still that simple 2.3 liter that Ford built in 1970. It literally, they've updated things. They've skirted it now and all, but it's still
Like
that
the
same.
Mustang, like the Mustang
Right,
turbo, the
right.
four-cylinder. Yeah.
It's that same engine. It's that
Mhm.
it, has a very durable design to it. It's very simple. I mean, really, even for a modern engine, it's very simple. Even for a turbo engine, it's very simple. This is not simple. This is actually a very complicated engine on the inline six and then this four. And I'm not a big fan of very complicated engines because complicated engines break. I mean, that's just the way. I mean, it's just the way it works. Complicated engines break. The simpler, and that's why an LS is the greatest engine ever because it's simple. I mean, the LS couldn't be simpler. It literally is basically 80-year-old technology.
Yes. Yeah.
That it's just okay. We put fuel injection on it. We have a regular cam in there. And the good ones don't have cylinder deactivation, and you literally just go boom, and it works. It's a very simple design, and that's why you can take one out of a junkyard, go and do a little work on it, and throw it in the car and beat the hell out of it. You're fine. That I'm not so sure about that. And the Huracan, the jury's still out on that 6 because it hasn't been out that long. It was out in the big Grand Wagoneer, but they didn't sell a lot of them. So
yeah,
what sample size do you have of that? So the trucks is where we're going to see it, and if anything, we'll start seeing this year or next year when they're going to start, because it isn't instantaneously. It's within like the first year or two. That's when you start realizing that there's problems. Because like
are those
Ford,
the inline? Are those the inline or B? Okay,
inline, you're inline, and they have them spun up to the max. I mean, the HO does like almost 500 horsepower. It's just it's way too much for a work truck. It's way too much. It's just too much. And it's small. And see, the thing is, it's half a liter small, which than my V in my truck. Half a liter means a lot. That means that's 30 cubic inches. That's a lot of size. I mean, that's the difference between basically, like a 380, like a 383 and a 400. The 400 actually was a better engine than the 383. It's just that little bit of extra cubic inches does make it. There's no replacement for displacement. It still holds true. And and the thing is, I'm also saying, and to these Larry understand this, Ford, you didn't know those 6.4s or the 6 liters were bad until over a year later, because that's when you started finding out that, like, holy crap, they have some problems. And that's when everything started hitting the fan about a year after they came out. And yes, diesel exhaust in the morning, it does smell like victory. Yes,
meanwhile, my 1.9 liter, 30 years old, 106, which is very low mileage, obviously, still, even though the brochure says keep it maintained, engine will last years of enjoyment. And you know what? Naturally aspirated, fun, and fairly economical, especially at $4.29 a gallon.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, I have the previous one. I had the 2.5 inline M20, simple engine, simple.
Yeah.
And I use Royal Purple 2050 in it because in Florida you need to use 2050 in that car. And I put that in there. I put good filters on it. I put like K&N filters on there, or the oil filters, or the Napa Golds, or high end. And I let it warm up, and I get it warm before I start doing anything to it, and it has 250,000 miles on it, and it runs beautiful, and it only leaks where BMWs leak. It doesn't burn oil. It just marks its territory like a Harley Davidson.
Like the 35-cent gasket is in a place that everything comes out to get to the 35-cent gasket. But it's all good when it's all done.
It's the rear main seal. Literally, it's the rear main seal. But the rear main seals are only $20. At most, they're $20, which means they're like a $5 part. And
Yeah.
yes, you have to remove the transmission to get to it. So
Yeah, we
that is
fixed
that.
my little
What?
thingy, and it was fine. Whatever that thing in the front of the or the oil filter, I don't know the proper term. I should know it,
Oh
but
yeah, it's
the
the
whole
oil
front of the
filter
motor,
housing. It's the oil filter
the other
housing.
filter housing. But you know
They
what?
leak like
Once it was
sieves on
done,
those. Yeah,
yeah. But you know what? It literally was like $1.18,
I
and
told you.
Dan and I did a great job. So, but all good now. Till the next thing.
Yeah, well, it's a BMW till the next thing. So I saw this. I almost went to this auction, but there's usually not a lot of stuff there. It's just very weird that this is at this auction. So the Magnum PI Ferrari can be yours. It is oh yeah, 2 Diesel Larry has a 6.7, which is a much better engine. They got their
Yeah.
ass together on that one because and they're supposed to be coming out, I think, with 8-liter or there's supposed to be coming out with a giant diesel, which they should, and no more DEP or whatever the no more piss in the tank anymore. Yay. The EPA finally came to their senses and they're getting rid of all that crap on diesels. Thank God. So this is an iconic car. Everybody knows this car. The red Ferrari. Which one is this?
Beautiful.
I forgot. Yeah. Which it's the 308. So this is the
Yeah.
V8. And it never had the target roof on because Tom Selleck is 6'4", and this is not made for people that are 6'4". I've sat in one of these. I'm the right height. I'm about 5'10".
Yeah.
I'm the right height. I'm who they designed this car for. 6'4"? No, because his head always stuck out above this. So this is the 308 GTS. During the filming, Tom Selleck hit, which ran from 80 to 88. It was 9 years.
Yeah.
He was, let's see, known for his Ferrari, his mustache, and floral shirts. According to canon, the car didn't actually belong to Magnum, but Robin Masters, who he stated he lived in. Ferrari reportedly supplied 15 cars. Holy crap. During the 163 episode run. And they had to ship them out. That was filmed in Hawaii. So they shipped those to Hawaii. Damn. They did the pilot. It had one in the pilot. Don't eat the snow in Hawaii. Chassis number 28251. And with 2 carbureted 1979 cars for the inaugural season. So then for seasons 2 to 6, they put the fuel injection GTS were employed. So actually the cars, the shapes were pretty much the same. So it's hard to tell the difference. And the final 2 seasons, the 308 GTSI Quattro Valve took over, which is just fancy Italian for 4 valves. After its screen time, the car came up for sale at Barrett-Jackson. April 16th to 18th was returned to Ferrari North America's base in New Jersey to be prepped for resale. At 6'4", tall, Tom Selleck could barely squeeze into the driver's seat. So all TV cars were modified to accommodate him, being converted back to standard, which, you know what? It would actually have been cool if they had left it that way. That would have just been cooler. I mean, granted, I would have needed to put blocks on my on the pedals so I can reach them, but I honestly think they should have left them like that. Sure. The car's interior is also retrimmed in Nero black before being sold. Now, more 40 years on from its starring role, the 308 shows signs of life well lived in patina, aftermarket add-ons, including a CD player and a rear valance. The car's provenance is certified by the Ferrari historian Marcel Massini and F registry and represents the chance one owner to role play one of TV's most iconic characters at a reasonable cost. Last year, it sold for $115,000 and will go under with no reserve. Start saving and grow that mustache. So, yeah, you can see how high his head is above the car.
Wow.
Literally, he's literally sitting in this car. And it's like, yeah. So that's kind of neat. That's a neat thing. I'm surprised it doesn't go for more, but people don't like those 308s very much. They're not very big on the Ferrari collectible list for some reason.
Beautiful car.
Yeah, I know. It's just one of those cars that doesn't have that prominence that that Ferrari, that the Ferrari collectors like. which is weird, but you know, I guess I guess just the way it is, and I just find it weird. I just find it weird that it's not selling for more because other cars have sold for like, you know, way like twice of what their value was, and this car is very well known. I mean, it's like, yeah, it's a big deal to have this car. I have Magnum's car in my garage.
Well,
Let's
I
see.
think like anything though, for our generation, it's a big deal. And unfortunately, as a lot of younger folks, one, they're not even into cars as much as we are. We talk about cult culture a lot of times. And if you don't really know the show,
Hmm.
it won't mean as much. Okay.
True, true.
It would be like technically speaking, if for some reason, I wanted to buy the Bankers or the guy, the guy in Green Acres. He had, I think, a '66 convertible Lincoln. Now, I like Lincoln, we all know that, but to most people, no one would care if it was in Green Acres, because that's
True, but
way.
this is Magnum PI. It's still
I
in
understand.
it's,
No,
yeah. So Johnny
it's a
Cash had one.
Ferrari.
Actually,
It's
there's
a
a
Ferrari.
yeah, and they actually have a picture of Johnny Cash getting out of it. It's hilarious. He literally almost had to crawl out of the car. It is absolutely. He's just laughing as he's like, I can't. He's just like, watch me get in. Like he like kind of crawls in and then he
Hey,
kind of gets down and he crawls out of the car. Like,
actually, here's a better example: the GoldenEye Z3, the actual car
yep,
in GoldenEye. That would be in some ways, comparable to. It's only 30 years ago. It's hard to believe, but that's what kind of started in the promo and what made them, hot back then. That
right.
this is James Bond's new, not British car, but a German car. Yada yada yada. So
So LB Bruin sat in one. His friend had one, and or is this Austin Healey? Because these are terrible too. Yeah, the Austin Healey Mark 3000. Oh yeah, Jesus, that's a small car. Yeah,
yeah,
so he's looking over the windshield. Yeah, I can see that because once again, not made for very tall people.
yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah,
yes, 308s was like driving a skateboard. It's a tiny car. You don't
yeah.
realize how small it is till you see
No,
one, and you go, "That's a
yeah,
small ass car."
it is. Yeah,
The ones
things were
they
just
make now,
different. Yeah.
the ones they make now are huge compared to those. Seriously. Yeah. It was teasing me at a Fiat. Yeah, fix it again, Tony. Like I said, like I went on a forum. I was on Facebook and it was about this Italian festival and they said, they had a list of Italian cars. Which car would you take? And I said none of them because I actually want to get to the festival. I've never I've never owned an Italian car. I won't own an Italian. I don't hate myself that much. I really don't. I just don't. I have enough trouble with a temperamental Chrysler product. I don't need to add to my misery because yeah, no. So I this is kind of a quick one because I can't find a thing without the video. I don't even know if I'm going to do this. It's the remember that i3 we talked about? It seems like they're
Yeah.
getting like a little beat up online about the on the on the design of the car because this is that's
You
not
mean
it.
the new?
This is
Yeah,
yeah, this is that
classic.
i3. I hate everything about this car. This is so anti BMW. It's not funny. Um and they're getting roasted because it's terrible. I mean, this is terrible.
Are they bringing
Everything
it
about
back?
this.
Is that the problem?
This is what they're. This is the car. This is the iX3 with this
Oh,
giant screen.
iX3. I'm
The
sorry. I think it's
iX3.
i3. Okay, gotcha.
No, the i3. No, and it's and everything about so I just don't everything about this just makes me just cringe. Here's the designer, and now I mean, he just doesn't. He's French, so that's like he's French. So that explains everything about this car. It's just not the, and I just am not. It's just not great. And this is the actual outside of it. It's just weird looking. They've gone way too weird on their where if I can find it, the Yeah, because it's based on this, the new class, this oddness. This is hideous. I mean, this is where, and basically the styling isn't changing that much because BMW, when they do a show car, there really isn't much changed. Because that's how you always tell a BMW what's coming out. You see the
You know
show
what that
car.
front end? Yeah, that front end, that looks like a Lincoln MKZ, technically Mark Z, but we'll
Yes.
say with a MK Mark Z from like 10 years ago with that first waterfall grill, which didn't look horrible because they were trying to go back to the 40s look. But that's what that front end looks like to me. That car looks like a 10 plus year old
It's just,
Lincoln,
and
aka
look,
Ford
see,
product.
the interior is almost the same as what we saw in a production. It's just not a good looking car. This is nothing I would ever want. I wouldn't even want to sit in this car. I
That's a
definitely wouldn't want to
prototype. Is
drive
that an
it.
experimental car? That's experimental though,
Yeah, that
right?
was but this is this is the, where is it? I gotta
The
find it.
tail lamp look cool.
So this is like the new class up front. It's just really
Okay.
not good looking. So I don't know. I just don't get it.
Go
BMW
back
does
to the
really.
tail lamps. The tail lamps didn't look too bad. Look kind of like a classic blocky. Go back one
Yeah,
more a
this
little
is
bit.
not as bad. Yeah, this is the M model. So this is going to be like the M3, but it's still going to have that new class. I mean,
Yeah.
I just let me see if I can find an M350 2027. See if they have any renderings. I can't. You can tell I can't type. Delete. There you go. Let's see. Oh, how about you? Yeah, I love this. Is all on the fly. Let's see. They have pictures of it. No, 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 no. Yeah. Okay. So here's what their rendering is. This is hideous. So this is their rendering of the car, and this is what it's going to look like. I guarantee this is what it's going to look like. That's painful. That
Now,
is
okay,
painful.
if it had round headlamps and that
It
elongated
wouldn't be as
grill,
bad.
no, it looked actually, and I like that hood spear in the middle. That's kind of neat. But it should have round. It's like when they ruined the Vet. I'm sorry, the Vet should have had round taillights forever. I'm sorry.
Yeah. That they put Camaro taillights in the Corvette.
Yeah.
The thing is, it needed to have separate headlights. They need to be broken from, and this is pretty much how it's going to look. And
this is the new 3 Series.
This is what the 3 Series is going to look like.
Oh,
yeah, that's what I said. And BMW blog is pretty good when they render from they're pretty close. So this is kind of what we're looking at, and this is why they're getting roasted. Nobody likes these headlights.
Yeah.
Nobody does. They're hideous. It's not great. Yeah, it's not good. Oh, great. 2 Diesel Larry had a Fiat 131 station wagon. You're braver than I am to drive in that car. LB Bruins. Yeah, you're a paisan. Yeah, you got a lot of Fiats. I know. This is they deserve everything they've been getting, because this is just not. It's not awesome. It's not great looking. It's not great, Bob. It's not great.
Pretty much.
So yeah, I'm really just disappointed because I'm not excited anymore about BMW and what they're launching. It used to be so much fun to see what they were going to do, and now it's just like the wokeness is still infiltrating all these companies. Like literally, they just can't get past themselves to try to make stuff. Like I just read that Ford wants to come out with more EVs, and I'm like, did you just learn your lesson? Didn't you just see what happened? You just lost $20 billion, and you paid Farley $23 million salary last year.
Oh God!
His company lost $20 billion, but here's $20 million for you. You get to stay on. Until the automakers actually start like cleaning house and get rid of the social engineering crap, we're not going to get good cars. I mean, good Lord. I mean, come on.
And when you look through, like, I have my Z3, brochures, and then of course the owner's manual comes with like things you can do with your, BMW. And you flip through and you see, of course, they put other model pictures in there from 30 years ago. There was something still about a foreign car that, and I'm not knocking American cars, but there was just something so blatantly foreign still about it. Like, it was so distinctive. Even if it was square, there was something that just said, I'm cruising on the Autobahn. Even if it was Italian, didn't matter. It looked different. It felt different. It was quirky different, but it was a great quirks, if that makes any sense. Now it's like everyone just wants to be the same company with the same dash, the same this, the same that. I get, I like my screens and stuff. I like some Buck Rogers stuff, but it's like there is no more distinctive. Let's be true to our roots. Modernize, okay, but there's nothing about that car that says we're really still this true German car.
Yeah.
Mercedes.
No, yeah, when we showed Mercedes was making that minivan.
No,
the electric
but even
minivan last week.
The E-Class like tail lamps could almost look like the whole body could almost look like an Ultima, and it's just like they're all thinking in the same box now.
Yeah, exactly. So I actually found an iX3, and actually Frank Stevenson, who did the original X5, which was a gorgeous vehicle. The original X5, the E53 is a beautiful, beautiful SUV. It really is. It's we owned one. Until it started having BMW problems, it was great and it looked good.
Yeah.
But here, this is what he was complaining about. Look at this thing. I mean, this front end is so busy.
Yeah.
That screams like, wow. And then you just go and you look at the back with these weird ass lights on it, and it's just everything about this vehicle is very, very plain. As Stevenson, he had a supersized grills.
Electric?
That's electric. Woogie woogie woogie. Stevenson sums things up saying, "Nice try, better luck next time." Looking back at his older views of BMW designs, he noticed a pattern. The talented designer also works in some of the humble Fiat models. Is a huge fan of recent BMWs. In his YouTube series, he once said, "Recent designs have lost their way." He literally says that the crossover lacks visual fanfare, calling the fender creases visually jarring. The retro modern kidney grille features new old beaver tooth grill graphic while being too pinched, almost puckered up. That is pretty much summing that up. These creases are terrible. Look at the wheel arch creases on this thing are horrendous. They're actually, they double define the wheel arches. It does look like an Etzel. It does look like an Etzel. If Etzel made a modern car, it would be this. That's not saying a lot. And they want you to pony up. They want you to pony up like $60,000 for this thing.
Oh.
And it has the door handles that are now illegal in China. The door handles that sink into the body are illegal in China because even the Chinese realize that's dangerous. Even the Chinese realize it's dangerous. So yeah, I wanted to touch base on just how bad, and they're just getting smoked by everybody on this. And I remember when they actually used to design cars and people actually got excited for it. But
we all did.
I guess not. So this is going to be right up your alley. I found an article, and it's going to show why this year is going to be really sucky for car manufacturers. Not of basically everything that isn't a work vehicle. And can you guess what would be causing that kind of problem? Why you're not going to have a lot of sales?
I would say, rising gas prices.
Nope, nothing to do with fuel. Nothing to do with the price. It has something to do with the price of the car. Nothing to do with interest rates. Nothing to do with supply. Nothing.
So what's the question again?
Why would new car sales be dying this year?
By dying this year? Well, boy,
The one thing that really hurts sales.
the dealership experience.
Nope.
Okay.
Oh, here it is.
Okay.
Negative equity leaves 30% of car buyers. 30% of car buyers are underwater in their cars.
Wow.
30%. The average amount owed when you trade your car in is $7,200 on top of the nut.
Because I was just about to say, again, we discussed this. Like we talked about it a while ago, where okay, couple grand or even $3,000, you roll it with the rebates and this, and your payment goes up $25, but you get a brand new car 4 years later. That is unacceptable. That's the average upside down.
This is the average upside down. So anybody that bought those Stellantis products, you're done. I mean, when you bought them between 2020 and 2022, you might as well leave the car in a bad neighborhood with the keys in it, because that's the only way you're gonna get your money back. You're not getting it back trading that thing in.
Wow.
Almost 1/3 of American car buyers would have traded owe more than the vehicle is worth. 30.5%, up 4.2% from a year ago, of course, because we're at that point with the 2022 cars. Consumers are on track to spend $49.4 billion on new vehicles this month, but it's 13.9% lower than a year ago, which is showing the market slowing like anything. Growing auto debt has become a significant challenge to the current car climate, as many motorists are enduring the consequences of their financial decisions during the Chinese flu. Edmunds' subsidiary of CarMax, really? Did not know that. Reported in January, the average amount owed. This is, oh my God, on underwater trade-ins during the fourth quarter was $7,200. An additional 27% carried more than 10 grand.
So based on old school numbers, you could always guesstimate for someone, for every 1,000 you finance, you can put 15 to 20 bucks on, just depending on interest, whatever.
Right.
So we'll just use an even number for shits and giggles.
Right.
So technically speaking, let's say you have middle range credit, whatever, 10 grand upside down. That's before tax, tag, title, all that stuff. That's $200 on your payment.
On top of.
Correct. Right. And even if there were, let's say, rebates or some cash back or some crap to move it off the lot, let's say it's $5 grand. Okay, now it's $100 more on your payment.
On top of your $700 payment.
On top of your $70,000 new F-150.
Oh, that actually $70,000. That's a $900 payment.
Oh, I know it is. No, I know. Yeah. I'm just throwing that out there as a
Bye, LB Bruins. Keep working on those cars, man. Send some pictures. So this is 20. I mean,
that's awful.
Just think of that though. 27% were above 10 grand. I mean, how do you even do that? The payment is now an average of $916 a month. That's not sustainable. That's rent. That is literally rent.
That is more than my first, my house in Tampa. Back again, my mortgage was less than that for my house.
7-year loans. Because what could go wrong with that with depreciating assets?
Oh, and they bumped it up. I swear there has been some, like, I believe I think on some of those Jeep, the guy who goes around to dealerships, whatever, like 84 months, and that's 7 years, right? 7 years, and 96 is what, 8 years? I'm doing quick
8
math
years,
here.
8 years.
8-year loan, man. No.
This is really bad. I mean, we're at the point now. Politicians talk a lot of garbage. They just talk shit. Yeah. They don't talk. They don't have solutions. They just talk. They talk.
Add on top of them. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
The only way to fix this is you gotta roll back all those regulations. You gotta roll them back so you can get 20 grand off the car, because there's no other way to fix this. There's no other way to fix this.
I was driving to work today in the Z3, which is nice. Windows down, top up because it was sunny. And I was driving along, and I'm looking at these now and for very non-fuel efficient vehicles, but I'm looking at some newer ones. I'm thinking that's at least 70 grand. That's at least this. That's at least this. I'm trying to go low. Like maybe that's 55,000. I don't know. But you're doing that, your payment of this average payment at
Yeah.
now, and yes, I'm sure it'll go back down some, but now you're putting in 4.29 a gallon, at least in Florida, with a car that gets like 15 miles to the gallon,
Correct.
plus your, and I'll even be more conservative, $700 plus payment on something.
Yes.
With your insurance,
Yes.
this is absolutely like there's no way that
It's
is
not
so much
sustainable.
money wasted. It's not sustainable. No,
It's not
it's
sustainable at all.
awful. It's
This is
criminal.
this is why I keep on saying this is the worst time to be a car guy.
Yeah.
Because the old stuff's expensive to keep going. The new stuff is unattainable. I mean, anything that you would want. All right, here we go. Let's see. G Canada coming in with the question. Yes, I was in finance. Still kind of am. If someone was giving you 0% financing, would you take it over 5 years, invest the 60K or whatever it takes, and make 4 to 5 payments a year for you, use their money? Yes. If you can find something that can return, like say you just put the 60 grand and it can return hell with zero, you just need 8. You just got to be you want to be in front of inflation, which unfortunately is really high. So let's say it's easy to get 10. You can get 10. It's not that crazy to get 10. And yeah, you'd be okay with that. And you'd be ahead of the game. You'd literally be ahead of the game. If you can get 10% of 60 grand, that's 6,000 a year. And yeah, you'd be okay. I mean, you're basically making half the payment. You'd make half the payments and never touch the principal. So yeah, you would still come out very much ahead. So yeah, that's if you can, that's the way to do it. You always play. See, it's hard for people to understand this, but you always play, and that's why like people that do, that are very wealthy. That's why they borrow this or yes, because they play with other people's money. They don't
Other
play with
people's
their
money. You
money.
always
You
no.
play with the house's money, and then you
Right.
just bank yours, and you make more money that way. Because that's the way. That is literally the way to do it. You play with the house's money, and yeah, honestly, if you can do that, if $4,800, yeah. I mean, think about it. You're gonna have most of that 60 grand at the end of the term. You're gonna have most of that still there. So
But
you're
even
literally
0% is one thing. Like I said back in there, you have either, $5,000 cash back or rebates, which you could actually do that if you want to. People don't realize rebates are cash back. You could actually say, look, I want the full sticker and I want my rebate money sent back to me to my pocket.
correct.
Or 0%. You had to either buy down the rate, you buy it down, or use rebates or
Correct.
the 0%. But 0% like on 35 grand is much better than 0% on like $78,000. So your payment's still criminal. It's still insane, especially on domestic vehicles. Okay.
Actually, Fluno, we actually got a check back from Ford after we bought the Bronco because we
Oh.
waited a year and they jacked the price up twice, and we got locked in for the original
Yes.
price.
Right.
Ford's good like that, and they wrote. I mean, we paid like the original sticker, then Ford sent us some more money, and I'm like,
Right.
cool. We
Yeah.
bought some accessories. It was like good. We were gonna buy this stuff anyway.
Sure.
There we go. So it worked pretty well.
But the incentives now are still like pennies compared to how it used to be. Okay.
Well, except at Stellantis where they put $5,000 on the hood of on the Chargers. There's $5,000 on the hood of those cars.
Yeah. Okay.
Though it's less than 10% of the price of the car, which isn't a lot. Honestly, it really isn't. It's 1/12, 8%. It's 8% of the car, which actually really isn't a lot because you used to be able to get at least 10 to 15% in cash on the hood.
Well,
I mean, in a good sale, you got 10 to 15 on the hood.
I'm going to say, just this is ancient news, but like 20 years ago, I remember 06 F-150s year in clearance because you 07s were out, same car, whatever, okay, same truck. But say it was a Lariat, which I'm just trying to remember, maybe around 40 grand. There were some because again, year in clearance, some of them loss leader, they triple netted as we called it, plus rebates. You could get like $8,000, 8 to 10 grand off on different cars, 5 to 10, we'll say, depending on what it was. but that was a huge chunk when you're talking even 40 grand, not even a 35-ish.
Mhm.
Say you have a paid off trade. Now you're getting a brand new car loaded for the time, beautiful truck,
Mhm.
or guess what? An XLT, which is already cheaper, 5 to 8 grand on rebates, triple net it just to get it out of there. Now, if you triple net it,
yeah,
it doesn't help you really.
because back then that $5,000 on a $40,000 vehicle was
Yeah.
16% of the sticker price. That's
Right.
that's real money.
It's real
Now you're
money.
talking, once you get over 15 grand, 15%, now you're starting in the stealing area, because
Sure.
you're doing great. Let's see. So yeah, let's see. The G Canada got 7K back for his FEV. The communist province all had 2K in electric, and the super communist federal government had 5K. So basically, you just stole other people's money, because that's what you did, or you stole your own tax money back.
Good for him.
Because I imagine you pay taxes, so basically, you just repaid yourself with your own tax money. Because that's the way that stuff works. God, it's terrible.
Good for him. Yeah.
Good for you. Game the system. Speaking of getting around, 20% of the total price. You can't beat that with a stick.
No.
Stop licking me. My cat is here. She is licking my leg. It is very disturbing because it's sandpaper and it feels
Sandpaper
weird.
kisses. Sandpaper kisses.
Oh, it's really weird on the leg. It's really weird on the leg. It almost kind of tickles. So here's something I saw that I'm like, I'm all behind this, and I wish I could figure out how to make this happen. I really do. Is speed limits are outdated. We all know it. And honestly, yes, Puzzle Vintage 76 Viper Green Beetle says hello. Are you gonna say hi back? No, you're not. You're not gonna say hi. You're gonna bother me now. So, this is actually a very interesting take on this, because if you really think about it, when my Charger was built, right, and when your Lincoln was built, the speed limit on almost every interstate, I don't care where it was, except maybe like the 295 in Staten Island where I grew up, that was always 50 because it's communist. And but everywhere else it was 70, and a lot of places there were none. And these cars had really bad braking systems on it, and they had no crush zones, and they had
no handling.
No handling. They were nose heavy.
They're buckets of water. Buckets of water.
Yeah, I mean, they literally are scary. And so then we dropped it under was it Carter or was it Ford?
Nixon.
I think it was Nixon did the 55.
I think it was Nixon, actually.
Yeah. So it went to the 55 for no apparent reason, which if you're too young to never have driven on a 55 road, it was painful. Literally, I drove to Florida when they just started to change it to 65, and the difference was night and day. It was crazy. Utterly crazy, the difference. So now, this is a great little thought here. Are speed limits outdated? Modern cars stop shorter, handle better, protect occupants far more effectively than vehicles most speed limits were originally designed for. Speeding adds danger to an already inherently dangerous activity. Not really. Yep, during the gas shortage. Yeah, the one that he helped create by getting the gold, closing the gold window and pissing off all the people in the Middle East who used to trade the dollars for gold. This is inherently dangerous activity. This is not controversial, and it's not worth pretending otherwise. Driving at any speed above walking pace is unsafe. Absolutely. The faster vehicle is moving, the less time a driver has to react to, the greater consequence something goes wrong. True. Physics can't be cheated, and no amount of software sensors can override that. Sure, you can't change physics. Modern vehicles process thousands of data inputs per second, stop shorter, handle better, and protect occupants inside and out far better than cars many speed limits were originally designed around. Stability control, advanced braking systems, modern tires. Yeah, let's not forget about the tires. They used to have only, like, literally it was bias ply. If you've never driven a bias ply car, bias ply cars are horrible. Yep. They're soft. I mean,
so they have.
They danced around the road, and if it got wet, you're not stopping. They literally were just horrible tires. They make great burnouts though. The really good smoke is from a bias ply. It will smoke up. It will smoke like anything. But so now you have tires that are rated for 149 miles an hour. They can drive for hours and hours at 149 miles an hour and not overheat. So, I mean, that's a lot of safety. You couldn't do that on the old ones. Yep, even G Canada. God, I can't imagine in some of those provinces of Canada where it's like thousands of miles to get to the other side. I can't imagine driving anything at 100 clicks. I couldn't even fathom that. Highway speed limits and asinine, they're absurdly slow. Again, the far left wants to control everything. Yes, they do. Airbags, traction control, tires, suspension, especially analog brakes, same limit. Yep. Oh, absolutely. Electronic stability control, which is phenomenal, has cut single vehicle crashes by at least 30%, according to some studies. Despite that, speed limits across much of the U.S. remain static. Enforced, it has rigid numerical thresholds rather than guidelines shaped by conditions. Well, the other problem is that it has become a serve to collect. And that's kind of a problem I have with it. I don't like that because basically that person that's supposed to be a peace officer is now just basically a revenue generator for his state, his county, his city. And that's all he is. He's a revenue generator. It's not about safety. It's about making money. Because now here in Florida, they have speed cameras at school zones, which I abhor school zones. I think school zones are the stupidest thing that has ever been done. The pussification of children is almost complete. When I was a kid, and I don't want to sound like an old bastard, but when I was a kid, I grew up in New York, and we didn't have school zones. But you know what? They told us, look, don't walk out into the damn street. Okay.
Look both ways. That was the old easiest thing.
Look both ways and wait till the light says you can go and still check both ways.
Yep.
And then walk across. And so now they have these school zones with cameras in them, and they're giving out tickets from 6 a.m. in the morning to 5 o'clock at night. Even though school ends many hours before that, it's all day. And it's nothing but a money grab. And I'm hoping that the Florida Supreme Court will strike that down like they did red light cameras. Red light cameras are now illegal in the state of Florida.
Oh, they really?
Yes, they said no, you can't have that. And
Thank
none
God.
of these things should be.
That's nothing but money generating. Nothing but.
The thing is, none of these. The Fourth Amendment, basically, this is literally you have to be able to approach your accuser. Literally, it's written in the Constitution, and these things do not give you any right to fight them because they literally say, oh, no, the camera's wrong. How do you know I was driving the car?
And you know how you know 100% it's nothing but money? If you get busted by one, which yours truly has had 3, I've gotten out of 2 out of 3, there's no points on your license with it because there's no actual officer there to verify XYZ. So wait a minute, what happened to my points if I'm such a bad driver? No, it's all about you getting busted for the red light camera to bring money in. It's not about safety. Most people slam on their brakes when they know. That's what happened with me in a ring. So there's the points right there is the smoking gun that shows it is not for safety. It is all about revenue generating.
And on this chart, they have rollovers per 10 billion miles. So hopefully that will go down. That it looks like Tiger Woods is going to lose his license. So we'll have less rollovers now that Tiger Woods isn't driving. But this is and this is starting. This graph is starting in 91 when cars were already starting to get safe. I mean, the cars in the 80s and 90s were light years ahead of the cars in the 70s and 60s. It's not even the same sport. I mean, it absolutely is insane. And look how much it has come down. And, the thing is, if we actually had a better system for people to get their license and a better way to keep people licensed, we would have none. But we don't, that's the problem. We'd rather make the money instead of trying to make the roads safer. To make the roads safer is make people better drivers. I literally can't handle driving where I live because people are terrible drivers. I may not be perfect, but I understand the rules of the road. And I do know what the left lane is for. I do know what the middle lane is for. I know what the right lane is for. But these people don't. And, it's like I know in a U-turn, The person on the main road has the right of way, because that's basic. And this is all stuff that people just, or if it starts raining, you got to kind of slow down. You need to slow down a little bit. And I don't see any of this. I see just stupidity or just lollygagging. I actually went by, I had a drive to Pinellas County today, and literally I was going on a 55 road. I was doing 60. I passed somebody. I literally came past them like they were standing still. They were not even doing 40 in a 55.
I always look over and stare at them.
Oh, I did, but I went by them too fast.
Oh, but and Dennis, you just hit the nail on the head where, like the other cliche that's out there, it's, certain devices don't kill people. People kill people. Cars are not like, the SUV hit someone. No, the bad driver hit someone.
The bad driver hit somebody.
Drunk driver. It wasn't the car who did it. Now
they didn't blame. They didn't blame Tiger Woods' car for him rolling it over.
Right, exactly. They blamed him. Okay, just like if again you blame the bad person with the device who did something very bad with it. So I mean, I have the only, and you just hit the, see, this is why when I think of 85 miles an hour, for a few reasons. One, I was actually going to experiment going to Tampa this Friday. I'm not joking with you. I was thinking about putting in the cruise like at 65 and looking at my gas mileage, because it's funny how if I go like 65, I'll get like 43 miles to the gallon. If I go 70, like 38, 75 is 32. So the faster you go, obviously you get worse gas mileage, especially right now. Okay. But the only reason I would be opposed to this is not because of our responsibility. It's other people, their non-responsibility. And it's already sometimes on the highway, F-150 Ferrari racing, and they don't know how to drive. And like my dad used to joke, who was a cop, and say, if it says 60, you go 70. That was the old thing. Okay, they go 10 miles over. Everyone did it. Everyone did it, right? Mm-hmm. And that's the only, it's not because I want more government. It's because I don't trust a lot of these people who do not know what they're doing.
That's what I'm saying, though. Fix how they learn how to drive. Fix how they get renewed. And it makes you solve the problem. Because honestly, if the speed limit was whatever, I don't think I would do over 80 to 85 in my truck, because I really don't like doing that with that. It's heavy and big. Plus, my fuel economy falls off like a friggin' stone in that thing once I get above 80.
Like Tiger Woods' car, it just falls off.
Exactly. Because when I drove to Orlando, I had all 55s, and I got 27 miles to the gallon with that truck.
Oh, that's why sometimes my city economy is like 33, because I'm just going like 45 and stop and go. And I'm like, wow, that's amazing. Okay. So no, well, here's an interesting fact. I learned this when I was in Germany 35 years ago, that the Autobahn, when it's raining, you will go no more than 100. This is many years ago, no more than 100 kilometers an hour. I mean, that is strictly enforced. So it's not the racetrack all the time.
No, they have some sanity, and they have very strict rules for learning how to drive and keeping your license. You have a lot to do to keep your license. In the article, it's like, it's not the whole story. Speed isn't, because speed doesn't kill. I'll say that flat out. Speed doesn't kill, because every race car driver would be dead. And that's not true. It's not the truth. Bad driving kills. And in here, it's like, behaviors, texting at speed, aggressive lane changes, which I have seen, tailgating. Oh, I've seen that. Or just driving too fast for conditions, which I see a lot down here, because it rains here a lot. And I actually see videos from up north when it's snowing, and it's like I see people driving going, no, it's a little too fast. I mean, but this is really kind of a neat way, and I think it's the punishment is insane, because honestly, a speeding ticket is, and now we have super speeder laws in Florida, which that party of less government
nonsense
gave us, which I hate. I hate everything about that law. It's a terrible law. And it's actually just the wrong way.
And here was interesting too, is when I was looking to drive on my dad, I'm again, decades ago, the highway is actually literally, we're all going the same way. It's actually the safest way. Still to this day, most accidents happen less than, I think, 5 miles from your house, and which is normally city traffic, right? It's
Right.
because of familiarity, thinking you can do something rash. You're too familiar with your surroundings, and you're not going 85. Okay, you're going much slower. So
Right.
that's what I find interesting is, and I read an article, Dennis, a year when I actually subscribed to magazines before they went nonsense. There was an article like 25 plus years ago about how exactly what you're talking about. The speed limit is not the killer. It's many other aspects that go along with it.
Actually, to Diesel Larry, I don't think you need one just for the Autobahn. Theirs is very strict. I mean, literally,
Very strict.
they're very strict test. The test is incredibly strict. All the
You,
rules are very strictly followed. So
you,
you are a very good driver. And
you're German. I can give you some basics on this. Now, again, this is 30 plus years ago.
hasn't
This
changed.
is back then. It was like a $2,500 situation, or marks, whatever it was back then. Literally, your driver's license, you earn it like a pilot's license. It's hours of driving in all conditions. And when you get it, you never renew it. It's for life.
Yep.
And you do have to pass serious driving. It's a true privilege, not a right, beyond it all. And you earn it. So the German driver's license is probably still to this day. It's like you can't have mom or dad or driver's ed teach you. You go to a course, like a class that is like a pilot's license class, and you get logged on your driving. And you have so many hours you have to do. You pay big bucks, and when you get it, it's like a rite of passage. So, yeah, they really know what they're doing.
Yeah, and it goes on in here about roads are designed for a certain speed, and people drive that because they're comfortable, and that's the way I drive. I drive at a speed. I told my daughter this: drive how you feel comfortable, and
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what the sign says. How you feel comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
because that really is a thing. And I have roads up where I live that are straight roads with nothing on them, and they put a speed limit of 35 miles an hour.
Oh
I can tell you,
God,
I've never done 35
no,
mitle an hour on that.
no,
A couple times I've
no.
been upset and I've hit some numbers that were much, much higher, but it's like, that's insanity. That road should be a 55.
Yeah,
There's nothing on it. It's a straight
right.
line. There's no reason for it not to be that way, especially during the day. Because like Montana, it has the right thing where they have the day and night. They
Yep.
lower it at night, which you should drive slower at night because you can't see as far. I mean, that's a big thing. But
Common sense.
yeah, and that's not very common.
No.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally, the whole thing about, you know, the whole thing about enforcement, everything about this is just insanity, and it
It's
doesn't.
money.
It's all about money, and
Yep.
and you remember the insurance company is also part of this.
Yeah.
But there's a lot to go on, and it's not just about for your safety. Because, I know in Florida, if you get one of those little things from the little officer there, your insurance goes up like 30%. Like,
Well,
really seriously goes up for
when
no
I
apparent
got
reason.
my speeding ticket, and again, there's a quick story, and this goes to show you again how all we're running a safety campaign. Okay, nice cop. We had a great conversation, but not that he would know my dad, but basically, I was going whatever 15 over. I don't know what changed. Whatever. I was leaving work. Right. I'm on 441, which is normally 55. Right. Well, I guess there was a 35. So I get pulled over, talk to the cop. Yep, sir. I was going fast or whatever. So this is how you know it's a ruse. He says, well, technically, if it was X amount, this and that, but instead of charging you this, okay, and I forgot the figures, okay, it'd be like $280,000, whatever. I'm only going to charge you for ignoring or not obeying a speed limit sign, which was like a flat fee of like 160 and 3 points. And I thought about being and asking him, well, wow, that's amazing how 1 minute I'm Mr. Unsafe, but now it's about a sign, right? Okay. So he gave
Correct.
me a deal, right? So I did. And I didn't care about the money. I cared about my points. And we did. So I
Yeah.
did. I took it to court per se. And I said, like I was on Zoom and I've done this before. I pleaded, quote, no contest. And I said, look, I was absolutely going over the speed limit. And Officer Mitchell, whatever, I'm not denying that, Your Honor. I said, all I care about is I don't want my points, because the officer actually looked at me and said, wow, you haven't had a moving violation in 19 years. And I'm like, I know, thank you very much. I'm thinking, and you're still going to cut me a ticket today? Okay. Wow. Well, you're raising money for the city. And my dad would say all the time, my dad would say, Mike, the only tickets I ever gave out is if someone ran a red light, because that literally was.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
In a 60s car too. I mean, this is back in the day.
Well, I mean, yeah.
So you're not stopping it. Okay. So, but what I'm getting at is, so I took out the car, this and that, and they asked the officer, we're all on Zoom. And I did. I paid $173 with the $5 court fee, whatever. No points, because that's all I cared about. And that right there proves. I could have said, could I get half off? And I even said, the officer flat out said, it's been 19 years since my last. I mean, talk about a slap in my face. Okay?
Yeah, that's basically insulting you.
And basically,
you did a really good job. I'm gonna stick it. I'm gonna do it without any Vaseline.
Right, and I should have said, yeah, I got a ticket before you were born. Anyway, I didn't say that. So, no, he was actually a very nice officer. We had a great chat. I understand the whole game, but I'm like, nope, I know my game, and I know what I'm going to do and do X, Y, Z. And I didn't want to push it with half off and this and that. I just care about the points. So there's nothing on my record, obviously. But I'm thinking, wow. And then like 2 weeks later, a report or a news article came out saying like the city of Ocala raised like X amount of dollars with their safe driving campaign. Okay. Can we stop? Can we stop this?
Exactly.
Okay?
It's all it's when it always it's anything, it's about money.
It's about money.
It always is about money.
And you
always
literally,
about money.
And here's the saddest part, because our good friend Dennis, AC Dennis, brought up the whole super speeder thing. Now, luckily, my record was taken off the books. But wait a minute. So now I have to worry about being this habitual bad driver over 12 miles over or 15 over when I didn't see the sign. Come on. Seriously. Sorry. And rant, but that's how it happened.
From the Moose meeting. But you're right. No, you're right, though. I mean, literally, because they have a thing in Florida. I forgot what it's a stupid campaign or whatever about zero something. And it's basically just money. Zero. It's basically money generation. Nothing about your safety. Because if they cared about safety, they'd make roads that weren't garbage. A lot of roads.
And they train people better. Right.
Yeah. Oh, man. So let's get to the crux. Let's get to the crux of what we got here. Because April Fools, Chrysler's coming out with a car. Oh, actually, here's something funny. I did a Google search. I love Google search.
Don't we all?
In my Google search, I put in future Chrysler cars. And this is what came up. This is an article from a year, 2025, about 6 months ago. So the vehicle's 2020. So there's new models await. I haven't heard anything. 3 new models by 2026. This was middle of last year. Still haven't heard from them. Chrysler Airflow, the future electric vehicle. Not happening. Killed off. Chrysler Future entails 3 new models. December 1st. December 1st of last year. See, 9 hours ago, Chrysler says future now with 2027 Pacifica. I kid you not. Literally, this is Chrysler. This is the future right here.
Yeah.
This is Chrysler right here.
We all want that.
Yeah. Matt McAleer, the man that is run Dodge straight into the ground, is now the head of Chrysler. Everybody should be excited because the antique interior is still in there. This is what you have to look forward to. There's no talk of a new car. That article basically is going, that's it, man. So there's your future of Chrysler. That SUV. Halcyon dead. They embarrassed Chrissy Fuel with that one. Yeah. So these are all vaporware in the in the software business. We call this vaporware.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't exist. It's literally nonsense that nobody, not really, never going to be built, never going to be seen. It's just, throw it out there and see if it actually happens. And I love these people. There's other channels out there that are just morons. Or just, I don't know, just be sensationalized. The next Chrysler 300 on YouTube. Look, I Photoshop. I went into AI and I had to make me a car.
God.
And there was somebody. And my favorite thing is when people talk about them resecuring the intellectual property for a name. And you do this because of merchandising. And there's another channel out there, and the guy goes, they're going to come out with the CUDA. They redid the name. No, dude. They do that. They still have like cars they haven't built like in decades. They like the Coronet. They still own that nameplate. They pay the federal government to keep that name registered. And that's kind of like it really is kind of it's a silly thing to think that nameplate's ever going to come out, because it won't. It costs money to make a nameplate. Oh no, Tony Imperial denounced my Moose Throne. Oh no. I mean, it's just like terrible. The thing is, all this is just basically, Stellantis has no plan for Chrysler. They have no plan for Dodge. They barely have a plan for Ram, and they really don't know what they're doing with Jeep. So the American things are just dying. And honestly, there's been nothing announced. It's already April of 2026. Nothing's been announced. So there's no car next year. Nobody's seen a test mule. There's nothing. There's no show car. There's nothing. The New York Auto Show is going on right now, and Chrysler has nothing there. There's no show car there. There is nothing. There's nothing there at all. They have nothing except the Pacifica. That's what Chrysler has. It's going great. It really is. It's going great. You okay there?
I'm fine.
Okay.
Not really. I'm good.
Okay. So, this is the first thing where they basically, it's just been nothing but nonsense. The AIs, this is why I'm going to do a video on AI and how it's going to ruin not only people's intelligence, but cars, because I've had this 2 instances where somebody used AI for one of my videos and just spouted back the retarded stuff that AI said. Because look, the AI said, it's going to be an all-electric brand by 2028. No, it isn't. They already said it's not happening. Heavily updated 2020. No, it isn't. So AI is basically ruining our lives, and it's ruining automotives, because this summary is usually wrong. And in this instance, it is wrong, because none of this is happening. None of this is happening.
I sent you that one where it says, what will gas stations do when we all become electric? And I'm thinking, okay, we're not even close to this. Then we're going through this whole litany of how they will morph over. And I'm thinking, but they keep building more gas stations.
Exactly.
And yet there's no conversion going on. But the way they spec'd it out was this point after point after point of the game plan. And I'm thinking, well, when is this? 2185? I don't know. I mean, because this is all fake.
This is all fake, and AI does this. And literally, I actually, and actually, let me just go on a little side thing here. So there was a thing on Facebook, and it was about sunroof chargers. I know a lot about sunroof chargers. I've had one since the 80s. Okay, so I did a lot of research on these cars, and I know how they stopped them. I knew how they built them. And somebody had a 74 Charger, and they were insisting that they made power sunroof Chargers with 74, which did not happen. I can 100% say it did not happen, because I just know what Chrysler's situation was in 74. They could not afford to shell out $400 and ship the car off to ASC and have all the work done and ship it back, because they would, whatever they charged the customer, they lost money because the car had to move around. But what I did is I ended up doing an AI, like a search, and the AI thing came up, and the AI said it. And this is what we get. They see the AI summary and they think it's right. And the AI summary was actually quoting back to the Facebook post. That is how stupid that is. And I'm like, and then I also caught it when one of my other videos, like when we did a video on the Chrysler not caring about your Hemi because they don't. So, first, the thing was the old Hemi and the new Hemi, you're totally different. No kidding, really, dude. Yeah, I've known them since I was 12. Since the new Hemi came out, that they weren't the same because the old Hemi was based on the RB block back that was developed in the early '60s. Had no, and this one was not. And they basically took it and they took a RB block and they gave it 4-bolt mains. And yeah, the rest is history. They made a Hemi. The modern Hemi, and I will stand by this, is based on the LA Magnum. It's based on it. It's not the LA Magnum engine. It's based on it. You know why? The center bore lines are the same. The spacing of the bores for the cylinders are the same. LA Magnum and the new Hemi, because you use the same architecture to build that engine. The only thing that Daimler did, because they're cheap, Daimler is cheap. Daimler, what they did is all they did was take that design and they modified it, and they took the camshaft, moved it up in the block to make it less efficient and actually ruin cams and ruin lifters, so they have less of an angle on the Hemi, because it would make the exhaust rockers have a less of an angle on them, because the old ones, they had runners that were this long to go across. And so they based it on that original LA engine. So that Hemi is based on something that's freaking 60 years old now, but it's based on it because Daimler didn't start with a blank piece of paper. They took the existing engine and modified it, just like the LA is a modified A engine, because that's based on the Poly. That is based on the 318 Poly. The 273 is based on the 318 Poly. They used a lot of the similar design to it, but it's also a smaller, it's a lighter engine, hence LA light A engine.
Yeah.
I mean, this is, but this is the type of stuff. It's like, look, it's pretty straightforward that Daimler did not. The only new engine they redesigned was the 4.7. That was the only one that was from scratch, and it was a disaster. It dropped valves. That's why the 4.7 went away in the early 2000s, because it dropped
Was that
valves.
the Commander? Was it like in the Commander and other like bigger vehicles, like a truck?
Yes, and the trucks. They were originally going to put it in cars, but it was so bad they just put it in trucks, and then it just kind of hung around for a few years because nobody had any money, and but that engine kept head remanufacturers in business. It was terrible. It was a lot of the things with that engine was really bad, and but yeah, that's why Daimler made, and plus it was better marketing. They couldn't market the 4.7, but Hemi, that was easy to market, and that's why Daimler did that. Daimler didn't care about. I mean, look, they gave the Charger, the original Charger and the original 300 and the Magnum were based on a 15-year-old what's the big one? E-Class chassis. That is an E-Class from 1990.
Right.
And they were still using it up to 2 years ago. But they gave them leftovers. So they didn't design that Hemi, that modern Hemi. Yep, 4.7 was the throwaway engine, not the redesign and rebuild. No, you couldn't rebuild that engine. It was bad. You could do the heads, but you might as well just toss it at that point. So this was the thing that always, I'm like, no, Daimler spent as little as they could on that company because they wanted out. In fact, they wanted out so bad they lost $20 billion to get the hell out of Chrysler. So that's how bad things were. So G Canada left, darn, because this is his favorite thing. Stellantis basically screwing an area. The UAW 1268 shares update on plans for Belvedere Stellantis plant. Remember, they made a big deal about this plant, that they're reopening it. Yeah. They even talked to politicians about this. And at on a timeline when Belvidere Stellantis plant could reopen is up in the air, according to the update from the local 1268 president, Matt Franson. In a post Monday, March 30th, Franson said UAW Vice President Rich Boyer is working with Stellantis to lock in a timeline for product at the plant. Franson said the information came from Stellantis counsel, who were able to meet with representatives from locations within the company and the international union. France's update also said leaders learned $10 million has been approved for health assessments on the assembly equipment and to replace 2 electrical substacks that were removed from the plant. This doesn't sound very soon. I don't know about you, but that doesn't. In January, France alerted union members that a possible 7-month delay for retooling in the plant with a potential restart in June of 2028. So for 2029 models.
Oh my
Holy
God.
crap. In October of 2025, Stellantis unveiled plans to reopen the idle Belvidere assembly plant as part of a massive $13 billion production expansion, the money they stole from Canada. In the United States. At the time, the automaker estimated initial production of Jeep Cherokee and Jeep Compass would begin in 2027, creating 3,300 new jobs. Why are they going to move the Jeep out of Toledo? You have Toledo. Why would you use this for Jeeps? Toledo's your Jeep plant. What the hell is this? Oh my God. Franson most recently update did not address any potential production delay. The local union president also shared more information about layoffs and recalls, encouraging those with questions to reach out. So it doesn't sound very good. On the surface, this doesn't sound good for some reason. You know, this sounds kind of bad. Yeah, I love this. Tony, Chrysler had a budget surplus when the Krauts bought them out. Yeah. Well, that's because their weak ass president that Iacocca put in didn't have the stones to be able to run the company because he basically had done nothing in his life except design the X body for General Motors. Yeah. All right, Vintage. Yes. Watch it many times, hype it, tell your friends about it, share it with people that you know. Just send it to them randomly, please. Thank you. Take the money and run. Oh, absolutely. That's what they're doing at this point. Stellantis is not as I don't think they're as financially sound as we think they are. I don't think that they are for some reason. They're hiding. I think they're hiding some more massive losses because they're getting their ass handed to them everywhere. Seriously. And the only stuff they're moving is discounted. Because in Italy, they're having giant deals on like Alphas. And I saw more Alphas around because, hell, they were taking like 5,000 euros off the price of the car.
Jeez.
And these are only like 20,000 euro cars. So, that's like 25% right off the top. So I saw a lot more of them now because they're basically undercutting Volkswagen. But I have a feeling they're not doing so great because this Belvidere plant just kind of it's not moving. There's like no movement with this plant. And that's kind of a thing that really 439 JK. Iacocca left Chrysler with billions in R&D. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. But he also left them not having the LH done because as he was going out the door, they did that. He did not want that car to be built. Why? Because it would overshadow his K car.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. And that is what the hell is his name? I can't remember his name now. I did a video on it. Guy's such a nitwit.
The president after Iacocca?
Yeah, after Iacocca. No. Robert Eaton. Yeah, Robert Eaton designed that car. Robert Eaton was the head engineer of the X body. The one that had one of the worst recalls in the history of automobiles. And they were dangerous. I mean, the rear brakes would lock up and at any speed, which is very fun. And my next door neighbor had one. That car went away. They didn't even bother getting the recall done. They just made it go away. The car went away. Why is it doing that?
Well, so they didn't have an 84-month payment on it.
No, it was cheap. They just got rid of it. So speaking of Stellantis vehicles, I found this really fascinating. and we're gonna get to the real bombshell at the end. We're doing a bombshell at the end. If you leave, you're gonna miss the bombshell because you won't believe what I found out.
Closing act.
2026 Dodge Attitude RT proves affordable performance still exists. It's a badge engineered car in Mexico. It's down in Mexico. And this is the Attitude RT. So south of the border to get this car, of course. It is, listen to what this car has has a turbocharged engine in it, 168 horsepower, but it's tiny. It has a dual clutch transmission, dual clutch. Think of this. It has what like Ferraris have. It actually has a dual clutch transmission in it. 0 to 60 in under 7 seconds, which is more than you would ever need. Top speed 126 miles an hour. It also uses G Cannon is gone, so I don't know what this means. 22.5 kilometers per liter, whatever that means. I mean that sounds like a lot. Liters are small, kilometers are small though. So times 3 is 60. I guess it gets like 40 miles a gallon.
So what? Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a little bit
exactly.
too. Yeah.
It's aerodynamic. It has this 26 CD. It has Michelin Pilot Sports on it. I mean, look at it. Look at the interior of this car. It's not awesome, but okay. I like it better than the BMW. All right.
How many liters are in a gallon?
3, a little over 3.
Okay, so I'll do some quick math here. I'll use even numbers. 6. So 66 times 6.2. About 36 miles per gallon.
Yeah. And look, it has ventilated seats, multicolor ambient lighting, wireless charger, built-in USB interface with a dash cam integrated to it. Look at this. All these things are in this car. Now, I'll tell you what the rub is, because it's 379,000 Mexican, whatever they are, 22 grand. 22,000. Think of this for a second. This car is $22,000.
Wow.
I don't care how bad it is. If you put a car on the market for 22 grand right now in the United States, you wouldn't be able to keep them on the lot. You'd have a line around your building.
Yeah.
So you have 6 years, 120,000 kilometer warranty on it. Okay. So here's why. Here's the rub.
It's a Hyundai.
It's a Chinese built car. That is the rub. They couldn't even design the car themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, this is pathetic. This is not even, so this car can never be brought to the United States. Never.
Nope.
It would never pass. It would never pass. And so, yeah, so basically they went and they got some Chinese junk. So if they're getting Chinese car and they're selling it for 22,000, that means it's costing them 15. So just think about to yourself how good a $15,000 car would be right now. Just let that sink in for a second, how well that's built. So yeah, and of course this is Mopar Insiders, so they have to go like about North American market. The problem is that this car is the cheapest thing they have right now is a Durango that's 40,000. That is literally the cheapest thing that Dodge has right now is a Durango. And it shows later on. I mean, it's not a bad looking car, but it's Chinese. It's sad. They couldn't build it themselves. They could not build the car themselves.
But it's interesting, Dennis, because I've watched a couple videos recently on, and it has to do with the American mindset of, I don't want to say bias, okay, but there's a great channel. You probably have seen it from the Netherlands called Earl Ed's Auto Reviews, okay, and he does the whole. I might send it to you where they still make a Dodge in Mexico, but it's literally gone from like something from Volkswagen to a Hyundai to the Chinese. It might be the same exact car we're talking about.
I think it probably is. It probably is
because it's a Dodge model. And then I watched another video by All Cars with John and how in our mindset, oh, Chinese junk, just like Japanese stuff after the war, Japanese junk, and they start building really good stuff because we taught them how to do it. A lot of the Chinese stuff, though, again, it's our mindset, isn't all necessarily bad. And instead of America making better products that are less money, we don't want them in the market because we cannot seem to handle this situation. Now, I'm not saying they're all great stuff, but look at that car right there. Even if it was 15 grand and let's say not the best out there, do you realize how many people could get rid of their 15-year-old car at this point and start fresh with that kind of warranty on it? That's what sickens me. Why can't we do this? Well, I know why we can't.
Well, I know why we had the article before with called UAW.
That's exactly right. But
there's the reason they don't have UAW in China,
right? But
they don't have labor laws in China. What am I talking about?
No. But they're also like such a huge market where they're literally gearing up to sell all over the world except for us, and it's more. It has even goes back to the chicken law and all that stuff where it just angers me to a point of we can do this as Americans and we don't. So instead, we'll keep other people out so we can keep doing our UAW stuff like this.
Yes.
That's just how I look at it.
All right. So here is the bombshell, because I couldn't even believe this when I read this. We had people in chat because we were talking about the Charger sales for this year, the new gas Charger. We I had a number. It was pretty low. I mean, it's actually kind of embarrassingly low. And
first quarter numbers.
Yeah, first quarter this year. That the car has been out since December of last year. So it isn't like they're having trouble, getting it made or shipping it, parts. I mean, there's no supply problem. Okay. So when I saw this on their released numbers for their first quarter, I literally, man, I don't know. I hate Chrome. So I'm gonna have to use a different program. I'm watching myself freeze and it's driving me nuts. Okay, so here it is. Dodge dealers pretty much just sell Durangos now. Okay, that's the headline. Can you guess how many Charger gas-powered cars were sold in the first 3 months of
1,500?
Oh my God. And you would be friggin' almost there. They sold 1,600 Chargers in 3 months. 1,600. Let me say that again. 1,600 Chargers in 3 months. That's why you don't see any on the road. It is a failure. Well, I said they would sell 30,000, and I think it was Tony Imperial said they would sell maybe, don't even sell 15. They're not going to sell 15,000.
Wow.
Unless they start putting 15 grand on the hood, 20 grand on the hood. They already have 5 grand on the hood and they can't sell them. So, oh my God, this is Dodge will not sell 100,000 vehicles this year because the Durango stuff's going to die off real fast. The Durango stuff will die off. They sold 22,000 Durangos, which still, 20,000 Durangos, which will be 80,000, but they don't have enough other cars to make 100. Dodge will not sell 100,000 vehicles this year. Just let that sink in. This is the worst year since post World War II for Dodge, but by miles. Not even close. This is literally the only year that's close is last year. I mean, seriously, look at Tony Imperial. He's had more women than that. Look at this guy. Let me drive some Imperial. But I mean, so the Charger is now, we can honestly say the car is a failure. Yeah. And last week we showed how it really wasn't all that. I mean, you had it running on ethanol, getting 6 miles to the gallon, and it still couldn't break into the low 11s. And I actually had somebody defending that car, and I couldn't believe it. I'm like, damn, Copart, dude. He made all sorts of excuses. Like it was 80 degrees outside, whatever. I saw Hellcats running nines in when I was at Bowling Green, and it was 95 degrees that day.
Oh.
A fast car will run fast. It doesn't matter how hot it is outside. If it's below 100, it doesn't matter. The car doesn't care. The car doesn't care, especially a modern car. Modern cars don't care. And this car is such a failure. I mean, I didn't think it'd be this bad. This is the guy they put in charge of Chrysler, the guy that is running Dodge right now straight into the ground. I mean, seriously, like literally like value jet into the Everglades. That's a horrible thing, but that's what we literally have here, because Dodge is dead. I mean, I honest to God, they're done. They literally, they basically, this is it. This is that they threw against the wall, the Charger, the gas engine, because the EV failed so miserably. They sold 240 EVs in the first quarter. Not even they sold 80 a month in the United States. Look, it actually sold worse than the electric one did last year. It's 300 behind, and I don't know how many old Chargers are in this. There might be 100 old Chargers in this number, because I just made Charger. They didn't break it out. They didn't say, because look, see, Challenger's still here. There may be old Chargers in this too. It got outsold in the first quarter last year of that embarrassment electric Charger. This division is dead. The Durango can become a Ram now, as it should be, because or you need to make Rams Dodges again. It's the only way the division stays around. You have to make Rams Dodges again. This is unreal. This I mean, I've seen failures before, but this actually makes the TC look great.
Yes.
I mean, really, this actually makes the Chrysler TC look like a freaking gigantic success. This is disastrously bad. And I'm flabbergasted that they honestly came to market with a car that is that expensive, that unpractical, and expected people just to buy it and have $900 a month payments, something that their insurance is going to be the same amount every month, because the insurance in that car is going to be psychotic, especially for somebody under 40. You're gonna get absolutely slaughtered when they give you the bill for that thing.
Yep.
And I saw this number and I was like flabbergasted. I could not believe that it was that bad. And the only thing that's even worse is Alfa Romeo, which I guess is done. They sold 900 cars in 3 months in the entire United States. 300 million people plus.
Oh.
Yeah. So I agree, Dennis. at least why? Yeah. Didn't you, Tony Imperial, didn't you say they'd only sell 15,000? I think even that's too high. I don't think they're going to get above 10. I think this fails just like the EV did. That sold 7,500 last year. They may only sell 8,000 of these things, which I mean, at that point, you know what the problem is? This is not a car. This is not based on a car. That is the same chassis as the Cherokee. It's the same chassis. It is not a car only chassis. It is a truck chassis, basically. That's why it's so freaking heavy. And this is terrible. And I mean, the Alfa Romeo is a brand that I don't know how they're going to keep in the United States. I mean, 900 of them. Just Fiat, I didn't know they were still selling them. 155. I mean, and their Ram numbers came back up. They're a lot bigger than last year, but last year was a complete disaster. So in the grand scheme of things, that's okay. I mean, it's okay. It's not super, whatever, and then you have Jeep, which really went up 3%, but they're down so far from where they were. I mean, it's like the Grand Wagoneer is at the point where it's kind of it's sold 14,000, and it's like, okay, but it's like, it got crushed by Lincoln, because the Lincoln Navigator outsold it by miles. I don't know. At this point, it's like, how much longer does Stellantis let this fester? How much longer do you let this just keep going on? Where you every month, every year, the sales keep going down and down and down and down. Tony, yeah. Well, I did a video. Frank Rhodes had money. He had people. They were ready to buy the two companies back. All they wanted was Dodge and Chrysler, because that's all his family was part of, and they wouldn't sell it.
Right.
Instead, they're going to run it straight into the ground, and that is the hubris of Stellantis at this point, to keep these companies and not have a plan, because they have nothing else for Dodge at this point. You realize there is nothing else for Dodge. As they say, they shot their wad with this Charger. This is it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no other engines. I'm going to break this to you very kindly, everybody out there. I'm going to zoom in on me. I'm going to listen to me very, very carefully. The Hemi is never coming back to that Charger. It is not coming back. They're never going to put it in that car. Never. It won't happen. They aren't going to spend the money to change the car to make it fit. It's not happening. There's going to be no Hellcat Charger. It's not happening. And even if they did, they would add another 100 cars to that total. This is not happening.
$10,000 to
10, 30. They'll throw 30 on it, because that's literally looks like what the markup is, 30 grand. And this is it. This is all you're going to get from them at this point. There's nothing down the pipe for this company. Filosa doesn't, he really doesn't care. Honest to God, by not firing McAleer, which he should have, and if he doesn't fire McAleer at the end of this year, he doesn't deserve to be CEO of that company. He really doesn't. I'm really just befuddled by this, that you're letting your brands just disintegrate to an embarrassing level of just despair, where you can't fix the company anymore. Because once you get to a certain point, you're never going to fix this company. You know what I mean, Fluno? Once you get past the point, you can't bring it back. Because we talked about Studebaker last week, and it's the same thing. I mean, they got to a point where it's just literally like, we're done. I mean, it's just, we have no momentum. I mean, Dodge has no momentum right now. I don't think those bad ambassadors are really helping much.
And like I said, even if they came out with the all-new Monaco and the all-new whatever old school name, it's too far gone for anyone to really say, well, what are these? Like, and I'm not being nasty. It's just, what is this car company?
I mean, they couldn't even bring back, honestly, they couldn't even bring back the Aspen. Like,
no,
the Aspen, I mean, you could make a nice, a small car, mid-size, whatever car, call it the Aspen, but I mean, that name really doesn't have that bad a connotation to anymore, because people actually like those cars, but there's nothing, they don't have a car to put the name on. There's no, these are Larry. Yeah. You can't fix stupid. No, you can't. Yeah. And I really, yes, keep that 71 Imperial with the TNT 440. Absolutely. I mean, we're at the point now, and it hurts me as someone that's owned a Dodge all my life. I mean, all my adult life. And even when I was a kid, all we had was Dodges and Plymouths. It's all we had, and Chryslers. And, it just kills me. This utterly kills me that it is just basically degrading to just like Studebaker just kind of started dying. It just started just withering away. It didn't just fall off a cliff. It just kind of got sickly as it went on. And finally they threw up their hands and walked away.
And then magically overnight, it's gone.
Gone.
Without any fanfare whatsoever.
But honestly, the problem is that the media, the car media, is on the same cult as these car companies, because they say, oh, look, they all they do is talk about EV this, EV that, stuff that
Yeah.
people don't want. And that's what this company keeps talking about. That's what Ford talks about, whatever. They aren't talking about making cars that we want to actually buy or use. They talk about things that are virtual signaling.
Yeah.
And Dodge virtual signaling themselves into oblivion. Chrysler did the same thing, because Chrysler got rid of the 300 for no other reason except to get ready to bring an electric car out. That is why they got rid of the 300. There was nothing. Honestly, the car sold well. I mean, I didn't like it. But you know what? For the money it was, like, it's not a bad car. Like, it's not.
It's a big sedan. It's a classic style American big sedan.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't handle well. It wasn't super fast. It did,
Looked
it didn't
halfway good.
It rode nice. It was a little weird looking, but it doesn't matter.
I knew people that had them. They were big, like a classic car, if that makes any sense. Like just a classic sedan style car. And Dennis, I want to point out that there's still 15 years later after its demise, there's still more chatter about maybe GM one day will bring Pontiac. People still talk more about Pontiac than they do what's going to happen here. This is going to just drift away, and once it's gone, no one's going to clamor for a glory days of Dodge to come back. I really believe that. Meanwhile,
I think we're past it. There's no. Do you realize there's no buzz on the internet about this car at all?
No, exactly.
And they're trying. They're coping hard, because I did a video. I mean, I did a video insulting the car, and usually you'd get, a few thousand, and it really didn't do much. And I'm like, no one cares. I mean, literally, nobody cares about this car. I really come to the realization, no one gives a shit about this car. So 4339 JK. Yeah, it was earlier in the show. We talked about the Huracan 4, which 300 horsepower, made by Stellantis. Yeah, I wouldn't be wanting to drive cross country in that thing. The 3.6 has problems, but it's still better than that. I mean, they're going to put that in heavy vehicles, and that's not going to go. I don't see. Maybe they'll put that in the Charger, but that's a heavy car. It'll be even with that in the car, it'll be 4,500 pounds. 4,500 pounds in a 4-cylinder is not a combination for good things. That's usually an engine that's not going to last 50,000 miles. So this car is beyond. This car is, the design of this Charger basically limits it from ever being anything. It's based on the same chassis that they're using on the Cherokee, I guess. It's one of the Jeeps. It's the same chassis. They use that same whatever architecture that they had, and that's why it weighs 5,000 pounds. So there's no fixing this car without redoing the actual bones of the car. So that's not happening. They spent, because of the EV and all that, they had to spend between $50 and $100 million to bring this car to market. I'm not kidding. It's that much money. And so them doing anything else, not happening. And they're not going to redesign it to put the Hemi in it. The Hemi, if you haven't noticed, they didn't bring, they just kind of like throwing that out there like Pavlov's dog. Look, they jingle the keys in front of you. There's no new design on it. It's the same Hemi that, at 100,000 miles might not work right. You might have to throw it out, because my friend in his Challenger, his 2014 Challenger, 98,000 miles, new engine. He basically the lifter bores got worn out because there wasn't enough oil, and that was the end of that. That engine was toast. Not even 100,000 miles. And this is the same Hemi. There's nothing new on this engine. It's an old engine. So it's nothing. There's almost no fix now for this Charger. They've made their bed. It was a dumb idea, and now they're screwed, because they honestly thought if they threw the gas engine in there, it would save it, and obviously it didn't. So that was that's the bombshell. Because I'm I didn't even think it's going to be that bad, but they're not going to sell 15,000 of them this year. They're not going to sell 10,000. I mean, unless they start throwing giant money on the hood, which I don't understand. Brand new car, you're going to put $10,000 on the hood. That's who? I mean, would
it's
you
not
go buy that car?
$35,000.
What?
No, I mean that's the whole thing though. Is it's 60 grand? It's like
I know.
it makes no. There's no, and you know who I really, and this is like the emotional side where it's like I think of everyone, whether it's a crappy car or not, the builders, the engineers, the people who are actually trying to do a good job. Then you have the dealerships, the salespeople, the finance people, all these people who are their livelihood depends on this abomination, and it's not going to put food on their table. And no one thought about that, it seems.
No, because
Because
it's the sickness that went through the entertainment industry. It's that
yes,
whole it's there's no other word to
Yeah.
describe it but wokeness. That you're
Yeah.
virtually signaling that we're saving the planet by doing something stupid. And we're lecturing you because we know better. And it doesn't work in movies and it doesn't work in cars.
No.
And now we're stuck with brands that are dead. I mean, they're just dying.
Yeah. And no one cares. In the long run, the golden parachute people, they don't give a darn.
So Tony Imperial, that is correct. If you drive the snot out of a Hemi, you have to. 275,000 miles, you have to, because the oil to keep the oil pressure higher, because there's no splash, because when they designed that engine, they put the camshaft too high in the block, and there's no splash from the crank. So because there's no splash from the crank, it actually has an oil starvation problem. At idle, it has no oil getting to it. So you're right. If you drive the piss out of the car, it will last longer. And your brother obviously drives the living piss out of that car. But I mean, this is the thing. For most normal, you put it in a truck, though, they aren't driving the piss out of it. And especially work trucks, but even though these trucks are too expensive for work trucks, you're idling. And if you live in a city, or you live like I do, where there's traffic all the time, you're idling, and you're going to tear that motor apart. My friend actually is a pretty, he has a Charger, or he has a Charger with a 6-pack in it, a real 6-pack. He's not a wimpy driver. He drives, and that engine still, because he lives in the Tampa area, it's still, the engine gave out because of the traffic. And this is that same engine. Right now, this is a 20-something-year-old design. Yeah. I mean, they did some modification to it, but it's still a 20-something-year-old motor. I mean, it's old. I mean, it's literally old. And I just, even old Chrysler Corporation changed the 318 and the 360 in the 90s to update them. And they're only 20. They weren't even this old. That's when they made the Magnums, and they gave them the whole roller. Actually, the rollers came out earlier. When they did the whole roller thing, I mean, they actually updated the engine. Stellantis hasn't done. Fiat did nothing. Stellantis has done nothing. Stellantis has killed the engine. So at this point, I mean, it's sad. It really is sad that they won't sell the company. It's sad that they won't do anything to bring product, and they don't care about the North American market. And they really have shown that all they're doing is going to run it. You're going to see at least 6 different Durango models coming out soon. I guarantee it'll be 6 more Durango models.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's literally what's going to happen. And the Durango is now a 10-year-old design, 12-year-old design. It's old. Yeah. I mean, it should be in the Smithsonian also. I mean, I wouldn't buy one. It's old. It has all the technology from the early teens. So I mean, it's a little antiquated at this point. And I don't know if I'd want to drop 50 grand on something that's that old.
A friend of ours, I don't know if you know him or not, a friend of mine, he sold Dodges for a while, and Volkswagens, whatever. And I remember before I left Tampa, it was like 2019, I think, maybe 2020 during COVID, I forgot. But he was working at Dodge, and I went down there, and he was showing me the 4-door. There was the 4-door, the Charger, right? And it had the big V8. I forgot which one it was, but the sticker on it. Again, technically, even though it was a 2020 model, kind of felt like a 2010 in some ways. Yes. But guess what? it's still for 30. It was like $34,000. It was a rocket sedan, almost
Yep.
like when you think about it. And I pointed out, well, this is kind of an old antiquated XYZ, this and that. But looking in retrospect, what a hell of a deal.
It's a hell of a
Okay, if
deal.
you needed a brand new car with a V8 that actually still on the highway got mid-20s and teens, like my GT did, I was like, wow, this is actually a heck of looking at it now. Because I looked at it like, I'm not spending 35 grand on a 10-year-old design or whatever this is. But now I think back, and when I drove was actually like that really cool dark green, like my mom's Polera was, and it was a rock. It was fun. It was so much fun, even with the antiquated interior, even by 2020 standards. And Dennis, it was. I look at it now and say, for 30, if they had that right now for 35 grand, and we'll bump it up a little for inflation, 40,000 with money on the hood, that car would do much better than what this is doing
They
right
would
now.
sell. They would sell 100,000.
Absolutely.
Because
you could easily work out that loan. You do some of this, you do something we talked about earlier. You make the numbers work, and you're getting a heck of a car, and a big, comfortable car with a trunk and everything that looked, even by a 10-year-old design, looked sharp.
Yeah, no, there's a lot you can do with it. And then that's what's missing. There's no value. See, that's the big thing.
Yeah.
There's no value in this charger. It doesn't have any value.
Right.
You're not getting more from your money. You're kind of not. You're kind of getting And what it is what it is. And I hate that saying, but this isn't like when you went out and bought a 5.7 and a year or two down the road you bought the supercharger kit for it, and now it's as fast as a 392. And because you only spent a few $1,000s and you got a supercharger. This that they showed with that Burger article. You can't do anything to this engine. You can't. There's not much to squeeze out of it, and I'd be scared to squeeze out of it because of the way the Huracan works, and that the Huracan has this weird combustion chamber set up. That it's like I just don't think. I just don't see the longevity of actually hopping that engine. I don't see the longevity of that motor in general. And the price tag just is a total turnoff. At that point, the price tag just makes you want to walk away.
Right.
It really does. Yeah.
And more, think about it, it was the 5.7 in this particular charger that sounds about the right price point or thing. All I know is it was fun as heck to drive.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And you're right. The value was right. You don't get 2020 tech in it, but you got everything else you really needed for a fun, fast, roomy car that could actually move your family around just very nicely.
Absolutely.
And get relatively okay mileage.
Yes. And that's the thing. You're not going to get that mileage with this Huracan 6.
No.
I mean, it's stickered. It's stickered 16, 19. I mean, you're talking right. You're not talking great mileage.
No.
You're gonna, in traffic. Yeah, good. What they were thinking was that this was the Band-Aid. Literally, the EV was going to be the big seller because it was going to be thought of as everybody, all these deluded people that run these businesses. It's almost like the same people that run Disney or Warner Brothers. They're deluded, thinking that their way of thinking is the way everybody thinks, and they were deluded thinking that everybody would confuse their charger for a Tesla. And it would sell just like Teslas because it was the same kind of thing, and it's like a Tesla. And the Tesla cult is a Tesla cult. And those people just buy that car, and it's fine, whatever, good for you, fine. And there's that certain small group that buys that, and that's it. And these manufacturers keep on trying to virtual signal to this tiny group that doesn't actually buy their products. They literally are trying to cater to a different. It's like taking Star Wars and making it a girls brand. Dodge is not a performance division. It really never was, and it's definitely not an electric car division. It's the general public car. It is a normal person's car.
The Tesla cult folks, one, is not even completely. I mean, they could care less about Dodge, and there's no fanboy leader of
Nope.
Dodge, like with Tesla.
Nope.
So they were thinking they can, bogart some of this cult love over here for their brand. And it's not, and like I said, it's actually really sad, Dennis. It really actually,
Oh, it hurts.
it is. Yeah.
It hurts. I mean, I'm more hurt than anything else. I'm not angry. I'm hurt.
Yeah.
And I'm hurt that Filosa is not being a leader at this point. At this point, McAleer shouldn't be giving Chrysler to run. McAleer should be looking for a job. This
Yeah.
guy doesn't deserve to be working. You literally watched the division disintegrate, and you cheerleaded the EV. For that alone, that car was the biggest. Well, now it's going to be the second biggest failure in Dodge history. I mean, I mean, the TC was a Chrysler. Dodge, I don't think ever had a car that was this bad. Honest to God, I don't think Dodge ever had a car this bad. I mean, this is even the last year. The Challengers did better than this. And I mean, to oversee the demise of a division, you shouldn't keep your job. And I really, seriously, and yes, I am calling for his job because he is, and he doesn't deserve to be running Chrysler. This guy has shown me nothing at this point. He is a Fiat guy, and it shows. And there's something about these Fiat guys; they just don't know how to do anything. They really don't.
And it's not quite the same, but it rhymes a little bit. Now, obviously, in '58 there was a recession, so we'll put that over here. But besides the recession, the GM, especially Ford, kind of, but really GM, pushed the envelope of, okay, we get the space race, we get the fins, we get this whole atomic thing, but they pushed the styling into a direction which was over the top. And they were basically telling the American people, this is it. And again, recession part aside, the people said, no, we've had enough. Like, we've gone too far with this over the top bling, doughy. It's now, we look at it back now and go, wow, that's pretty awesome looking. But even at the time, like, okay, like a 58 Continental, technically, it was not a bad car at all, at all. A lot of people love it, but they call it the pagoda styling. I'm not a fan of it. It was beyond massive, had actually great horsepower ratings, and was very fast, but it was so over the top that it failed miserably. So that was like Ford's bad idea, which has the asshole. But
yeah,
the American people spoke basically and said,
yes.
no, we're not buying these cars because of XYZ. And in '59, with that report, which was very quick, that's when that minimalization started back into more sane, spacey styling, but not over the top.
And that's the difference between then and now. Then you had businessmen. You had businessmen that understood that they needed to sell a product to make money to stay in business.
Right.
Now
and they knew they flopped. Let's redo it.
We have ideologues running these companies that bow to the altar of this, whatever the hell this crap is. And they just try to push something onto the public that they don't want. Losses be damned. And you can't tell me Dodge is making money. There's no way Dodge is making money. I'm sorry. There's no way Dodge is making money. I don't care. They can sell as many Durangos as they want. They can't make the money back on that chassis. They had to spend between $50 and $100 million to bring that car to market. And it failed miserably. So you can't tell me that company's made any money. Chrysler, I know they sell a bunch of minivans, but there's no way with all the infrastructure you have that you make money selling 100,000 in minivans. There's no way. 100,000 cars today is nothing. That really is. It's 100,000 is nothing. No. I mean, if Subaru only sold 100,000 cars, I think Toyota would friggin' fold them. Honest to God, I think they would just fold them.
Yeah.
And that's where, I mean, this is the part that's so painful, is that there's been no, everybody talks headlines of this or that being changed or this or that. And honestly, when you sit down and look at it, no, it hasn't. It's the same garbage that we were getting shoved down our throat in 2019 that got accelerated, after 2020, that makes no sense at all. Nobody wants it. They can't make
Right.
money on it. And here we are watching car companies find new ways to fail. I mean,
Right.
incredible ways to fail. And it actually kind of hurts to look at. It actually, the only company that is not failing is Toyota,
Yeah.
because they never went all in on this stupidity. They just built what they built, and they just like, okay, we're just going to build this. And now we're looking at just, what was left of Chrysler Corporation. It's literally just in its dying days at this point.
Yeah.
Ford is a train wreck at this point, and it shouldn't be. General Motors is always the way General Motors is. It's a mess.
Yeah.
But at least General Motors coming out with new car engines. They're coming out with new 2 V8s, and they're working on their trucks and all. And honestly, it's really, it's so, once again, as poignant as it is a terrible time to be a car guy. It is a terrible, terrible time, because you don't have people in charge that care about cars. All they care about is the ideological thing of trying to push this BS net zero nonsense, which there's no such thing, and not sell a product that people want. Toyota says, screw you, and they sell how many thousands are RAV4s? What, 200,000, 300,000 RAV4s? I mean, because they went, no, we're just going to build this what people want, and they sell a lot of them.
And what does Ford do? That's a great idea. So let's go to the Escape, even though it's like a direct competitor and it's close, like it's neck and neck. So let's get rid of it, right?
Let's just get rid of it.
And well, I sent you an article on Hyundai's vision by 2030, and they're going to have, I think it's by 2030, which is only 4 years away, 36 new or improved models. And it's a blend. It's got some electric, obviously, you're going to have to. They got plug-ins, and they have gasoline, because they're saying, and the way, if I read the article properly, only X amount is electric because, they realize not everyone wants this. So let's put our pie chunk into this. But they're improving. They have a vision. They actually have an idea. And they want to build more plants in America. So they need to make money. Okay. And they have people actually with a vision. Maybe they have a little failure here and there, but they're thinking things through.
Yeah. The Koreans do that also. So here's 4339JK. I'm hurt too. Even with the last calls were coming out, I wanted to pull the trigger and buy one. Even got a price, but just couldn't do it. Even the new Challenger was like the Hemi. No originality. No, that new Challenger was just a bad 125% scale model of the original. It was fat compared to the original. If you put an original next to it, it was a fat car. And I'm like, that's why I never gravitated to either one of those cars. I'm like, these are just really bad interpretations of what the original cars were. And if I couldn't believe you got a price that wasn't off the wall, because most dealers were just basically trying to do you without Vaseline. And that's, and that's the other thing that's hurting them at this point. Why you're never going to sell this Charger, because you screwed the people that would be ready to come in. You screwed them so hard. I would never go back. Especially, I look at my car that I paid $20,000 over sticker because I'm an imbecile, and oh Christ, I'm $30,000 in the hole now. Well, yeah. And you're not getting out of that hole. Basically, you're going to drive that car till the wheels fall off. I mean, that's literally what you're stuck with. And
which will be in 4 years.
Well, yeah, it's a Dodge. That's the other thing. That's the other sad thing, is that they charge that price for a car that has quality issues. They say they're working on their quality issues, but I don't know how you work on the issues that they had. I mean, they had quality that made the early 70s look good. I mean, that's pretty bad, considering people were drunk and smoking pot and working on cars. I mean, I a couple of years ago when they first came out with the Grand Wagoneer, I have a friend that works at a Dodge dealership or whatever, CDJR, out in Lakeland, and they had one come in. The half the hood wasn't painted. It left the factory. It's like, maybe you should throw some paint on that. I don't know, kind of crazy. $100,000 vehicle. $100,000 vehicle couldn't paint the hood right. I'm like, so what do you think the rest of the quality control is?
That's
Can't
terrible. I
be
mean,
it can't be good. I mean, people can bitch about Ford with their recalls and whatnot, but you know what? Overall, I've had nothing really out of the
but
ordinary go wrong with my truck or my Bronco. Nothing go, oh, like the transmission blowing up. Well, all transmissions blow up. I mean, that's just the way they're built now. They don't, it was over 100,000 miles, which is beyond what the life of the truck should be, in the real scheme of things. But
and,
it's like,
and, and the truth is, recalls, will happen. I get sometimes I think it's overly hyped because it is a man-made product. Okay, and if there's a
yes.
glitch in it, they're going to do the right thing and bring it back and correct it. Okay, I'm not giving them excuses, but especially if it's a newer situation. Now, when I hear something like this didn't click or the seatbelt does, I'm like, we've only been putting these in cars for how long now? I mean, that's annoying. But
Yes.
they're doing the right thing, and you bring it back. And look, sometimes a recall will happen, and oops, there's an error. We're going to do the right thing. But when you have quality issues like not painting something and they want raises when robots, I hate to say it like this, will do it perfectly.
Yeah.
And again, it's one of our, want to go on a tangent, but
I know.
I convinced my friend to buy an Asian SUV versus an American one. Sorry, different mentality.
Yep.
Made in Japan. That one time that was a crappy statement. Now, no. Made in
Nope.
Japan.
Made
No.
in Japan.
So
So yeah, so there. I mean, there's a whole bombshell that, I mean, Dodge is pretty much a dead brand. I didn't want to be right, but there's no hope, and honestly, there's nothing coming. There's no
no,
product coming. They
no,
have nothing to bring. There's nothing being shown. Like right now is show car season. There is no product being
no,
shown at the New York Car Show.
no,
And that's
no.
when you would unload a next year's car. So there's nothing there for Chrysler. There's nothing there for Dodge. There's nothing coming. There's nothing coming in 2028. By 2029, it's too late. I mean, by then it's too late. It's over. You've had a whole decade of just declining, and at
Yeah.
that point, you just shut the division down. And Stellantis is big enough that they can just close it all down and just sell trucks and Jeeps in the United States. And that's why they
Yeah.
broke Ram out. They never wanted to have Dodge or Chrysler, and that's why Fiat did it. Well, same people. They wanted to sell trucks and Jeeps. They didn't care about the
Yeah.
cars, and it shows. So here
Mhm.
we are, and yeah. So on that incredibly depressing bombshell of just, I think we can say goodnight. Thank you everybody in the chat. Thank you, Fluno.
Thank you as always.
Go check out my other videos. Because I mean, there's some good nuggets in there. Tell your friends when you watch it, share it with somebody, because that's kind of a helpful thing. I try to make things entertaining yet educational. Oh, here we go. A little more. Last thing. It was during the chip shortage. You couldn't even order one, but the dealer gave me a price for fun. There was 6.4. Oh wow, 392. RT leftover at another dealer but bailed on that too. Wow. It was 392. Wow. Yeah. But don't worry. Actually, in a year or two, you could probably buy that car for a third of what the original price was, because they're not collector's items. There's nothing collectible about them.
Well, I'll
They're,
just make one last comment too,
sure.
is that before I forget, and it is kind of even going back to like the 50s, and I said, where here we go back to 2020, I'm looking at that $35,000 antiquated, but still a heck of a good value for that car. You jump 9 years in the future, it's nothing. Think about a 1950 bullet nose Studebaker, the forward look for back then. 9 years later, where are they at?
They're
Again,
out of business.
different scenarios, but they just faded away. And in 1950, they saw the future looking great, and things just did not go. And again, different ways on what happened. But here is 2020, and the lots filled with these Chargers. They're with Challengers. They're selling. They got the 300, whether it's great or bad or old data, what doesn't matter. They're moving metal. And
Yep.
say hypothetically in 2029, who's dodging Chrysler?
Exactly. And I think that's where we are. And it really is the bombshell here, is that literally we're at the point, we're past the middle of the decade. and there's nothing on the show car circuit. There's nothing online that you could do a search all you want for any other new products. It ain't coming. And people online saying the CUDA, whatever, don't understand why they re-register the names. It's for marketing. It's literally for marketing and products, like so they can sell T-shirts and whatever. That's why they keep that type of stuff. The intellectual property is worth more than the car. And so there's that. So oh well. Our worst fears have been basically proven right that Dodge is dead, and long live Dodge. So on that note, I will say good night again to everybody in the chat. Thank you very much for making it fun. Remember to share this, tell others. I have other videos. Please watch, share, hype, friggin' do whatever. I mean, do those things. Tell others. And thank you, Fluno, again for being another voice with your interesting introspections. And it just makes things
appreciate being here. Thank you all. Have a nice night.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much. And we'll see you next week with God knows what. Because good Lord. If you liked what you saw, subscribe. If you didn't, thank you for watching to this point. And as always, if you have a cool car or something fun to drive, take it out. You'll make someone's day, probably your own.